Hello everyone, subscribe to my channel to not miss new trending manhwa.
Night falls over the bustling Seoul station, a hub of countless journeys. Inside, platforms stretch out, a train waiting as commuters dot the scene. A pair of sneakers rest neatly on a bag, placed precariously near the tracks. A young man nervously checks his phone, snapping a photo and questioning his location. He hesitates to register a profile, considering a move to another station if this fails. Suddenly, his phone confirms, profile updated successfully, displaying the sneakers. Notifications flood in. Life starting a new ending scene, a new skill acquired, and the 99th ending achieved. His hands tremble, clutching the phone as the monumental 99th ending message glows. Overwhelmed with emotion, he shouts, "It's over," tears streaming down his face. An elderly woman nearby looks puzzled as he proudly declares himself the sole master of all 99 endings. The old woman muses about kids and phones, then curiously wonders about her grandson-in-law. She smiles faintly as a train blurs past, a moment of quiet observation. Suddenly, she gasps, recognizing the disheveled young man as her grandson-in-law, and urgently needs his phone. The young man, still reeling, picks up his phone, contemplating his next move after the big win. His phone rings, it's Mom, asking his whereabouts as the clock shows 6 p.m. His angry mother, Dad beside her, demands to know which station he's at this time. She fears it's a homeless shelter again, while he cheekily replies, "Seoul Station, Your Majesty." A somber image shows his parents, their forms cracking like stone from worry. "You brat," his mom explodes through the phone, furious about exams and gaming. Elsewhere, neighbors overhear the commotion, remarking on the pitiful family fighting again. Mom's fury erupts. "For 6 years, that's sickeningly long, it should be enough." He tries a quick "love you, Mom," but she fumes, "That beastly child. I could just die." Dad shows Mom his phone, revealing he texted their son about picking him up. Dad's text warns, Mom's furious, doing planks for 5 minutes, leaving the son thinking, "I'm screwed." Defeated, he texts an apology, deciding it's finally time to quit the game and head home. Just as he's about to leave, his phone chimes, a new notification catching his eye. The screen declares, "You have seen the end of 99 lives." A new message thanks him, announcing from now on, the true reset life begins, baffling him. The game is revealed. A secret, location-based or god-tier game from 6 years ago. So difficult its homepage shut down, he wonders about walkthroughs, then someone calls his name. A friend scoffs, still playing that dead game, but he fires back, calling his friend a noob. His friend asks about today's check-in, and he sarcastically mentions the prosecutor's office. He admits he'd spent everything on travel for this game, completely captivated by it. He reminisces, in one life, he became a prosecutor, standing in a courtroom. In another, he was a street singer who topped the Billboard charts. The game allowed him to achieve dreams he couldn't in reality, working tirelessly for it. Reset life? He realizes, holding his glowing phone, was my life itself. He looks up, phone in hand, stunned. And this isn't the end. His eyes widen, wondering if it's a secret story or something he needs to create. Suddenly, a new notification, download complete, inherit one skill as a reward. He scrolls through skills, muttering, if this game isn't ending, anything is fine, but he taps his phone, puzzled, the screen isn't changing. What's wrong? Suddenly, his phone erupts in light, secret skill, reality synchronization acquired. Your 100th life begins. The screen displays skill, top student nationwide, showing him acing exams atop a mountain of books. A golden bell rings, signaling this is question 21 in a quiz show setting. A flashback shows a young student intensely focused, as a historical question about the Shinmyeonjeo is posed. The question continues, what was the name of the American merchant ship burned in 1866? The quiz show host gasps, microphone in hand, as an answer is revealed. Student Lee Jinho confidently presents General Sherman, certain it's the correct answer. The scene shifts to a restroom during break time, as someone lets out a sigh of relief. Lee Jinho hides in a restroom stall, baffled by classmates suddenly flocking to him. They'd praised him. "Oh, even a slow worm turns. You're amazing." He blushes, wondering if this is Maslow's esteem need, admitting it feels good. His friend Jae-jun burst in, shouting, "Who are you?" Lee Jinho doesn't know smart words like that. Jinho, now at the sink, yells back, "Park Jae-jun, you crazy bastard, close the door." Outside the restroom, Jae-jun eyes Jinho suspiciously, who starts to explain. Jae-jun accuses him. "You memorized that dead game reset life to get the top student skill. Impossible." Jinho smirks, claiming a head injury and memorizing 50,000 files made him a genius. Jae-jun calls it a lie, but Jinho insists it's true, because within reset life, that was the condition for the skill. He recalls the day knowledge flooded his mind, feeling electrocuted as his phone glowed. A powerful thought strikes him. The skill is truly transforming him. His mom finds him studying late, nosebleed tissue and all, the skill clearly altering his brain. He assures her he'll sleep soon, his passion, and will untouched by the change. For 6 long years, he poured his entire life into reset life. Now, he endures life risking cramming, feeling tired, but wonderfully satisfied after test. This satisfaction fuels a thrilling anticipation. He could become anything. Eyeing a school quiz scholarship, Jae-jun remarks on his change, but Jin-ho knows it's not his real self, yet he's determined. His friend notes Jin-ho looks brighter than he has in 7 years. Jae-jun grins. I'm cheering for you to be the last one standing, man. Jin-ho thanks him, urging haste for Jae-jun's dance crew's break-time broadcast debut. Jae-jun plans a feast with the scholarship money as Jin-ho wonders about his friend's metabolism. Jin-ho opens the door to a crowd of students and faculty chanting his name. A teacher excitedly asks if Jin-ho unofficially graded his CSAT, and he confirms. The teacher reveals Jin-ho might be the only one nationwide with a perfect score. Jin-ho finds it unsurprising. The principal dramatically faints, pledging his fortune for Jin-ho's scholarship. Jin-ho sheepishly admits he kept quiet, thinking no one, not even Jae-jun, would believe him. Jae-jun, still suspicious, yells, "Who are you?" while Jin-ho dismisses his theatrics. Celebratory shouts echo from Jin-ho's home. "My son got a perfect score on the CSAT." Jin-ho apologizes to his mom for his past obsession, showing his perfect score report as she acknowledges his capability. Dad proudly toasts Jin-ho's genius and early university admission, as Mom wishes she'd known it was a study game. Dad asks about plans before enrollment. Mom mentions relatives clamoring for tutoring, but Jin-ho considers a solo trip. A new skill appears. Skill Sincerity moves heaven, stating appearance requires being born again. To acquire it, drop your water at midnight, perform 108 bows for 77 days, apply it, then drink the rest. The ritual requires 108 bows to the Gabawi Buddha statue. Jin-ho deems the condition crazy, but better than other absurdities. Jae-jun recalls Jin-ho saying Bongyunsa Temple check-ins work, questioning if he truly did 108 bows for 77 days. Jin-ho scoffs, "Am I an idiot?" revealing his phone gallery filled with a single Boeing photo, copied repeatedly. Now, with the skill becoming reality, Jin-ho bows earnestly by a bowl of water. Realizing such tricks no longer work, he laments not building stamina as a monk leads him up the rough path to Gabawi, finding Boeing harder than expected. Jin-ho wails, energy depleted just from climbing, having managed only 3 bows so far. Determined not to quit, he suddenly calls out to Eniodwe, announcing he's borrowing gym clothes, but gets no reply. Jin-ho explains Eniodwe is his nickname for a friend, a mashup of glasses, acne, and pig. His friend fumbles with the phone, accidentally opening selfie mode to his own horrified face. Jin-ho laughs, recalling his friend's past self-deprecating humor, but admits his own shock was real back then. He remembers his past self, terrified of mirrors that weren't fogged up, fearing his own appearance. He'd wished to be reborn with smooth skin and Jae-jun's metabolism, his old glasses falling. Tears streaming, he then realizes he doesn't want to be reborn. He loves his parents too much. His mom gives him an envelope, saying, "Today's the day you go for the temple stay, right?" She explains his dad's promotion kept him away for 2 years, and she felt she neglected Jin-ho. His mom confesses she let him play games, hoping he'd at least enjoy life with friends. Overcome with emotion, Jin-ho bows deeply, whispering, "Mom, Dad, thank you for raising me." Jin-ho vows before the moonlit Buddha, "I will definitely return as a son you can be proud of." On the 77th and final day, a monk asks devotee Lee Jin-ho if he's ready to descend the mountain. Jin-ho, looking remarkably handsome and confident, replies, "Yes, monk," thanking him for his stay. The scene shifts to a bustling Incheon airport, filled with travelers. Suddenly, a crowd of fans erupts, screaming Appa and holding We Do signs. 3 stylish young men, clearly idols, wave and smile as cameras flash. Stern-faced security guards in suits and sunglasses hold back the eager fans. Jin-ho, now sporting an earpiece, wonders aloud if a band member got separated by the fans at the departure gate. A man in a suit, adjusting his sunglasses, coolly replies, "No." Jin-ho, confused, asks if it was just a normal person while someone scoffs. "How could you mistake a celebrity for a regular person?" The suited man cryptically says Jin-ho will understand soon, leaving him utterly confused about the non-celebrity. Nearby girls whisper, convinced the person in question must be a rookie actor due to his looks. Suddenly, a strikingly handsome Jin-ho appears, waving as Jae-jun's voice calls him a traitor for going to Italy alone. Jae-jun, still on the phone, tracks Jinho's rolling suitcase, mockingly announcing the traitor seeks the meetup point. Jinho, now on his phone, exasperatedly denies getting plastic surgery as Jae-jun shouts accusations. Jae-jun, lounging and disbelieving, compares Jinho's transformation to an impossibly lucky lottery win. A flashback chat shows Jinho's temple progress versus Jae-jun's feasting, revealing the skill's sincerity moves heaven doesn't work in just 77 days. The narrative explains the skill like a lotus from mud, one must push towards the surface. Eventually, the text continues, one will bloom brilliantly, radiating their true, transformed form. The system screen officially confirms the skill, sincerity moves heaven, symbolized by a blooming lotus. Jinho gazes out the airplane window, soaring through the clouds. A flight attendant brightly asks if he needs anything, impressed by the airline's kindness. She offers a pillow, saying he looked like he was coughing, though Jinho is sure he wasn't. The attendant then offers him a bottle of water, asking if he's thirsty. Jinho, reading a book, awkwardly accepts, thinking the attention is a bit much. He discovers another note with a phone number attached to the water bottle. Musing on the power of his new looks, Jinho opens a notebook filled with countless similar notes, remarking it probably beats his actual contact list. A flashback shows his mom asking about his study group, while his past, game-addicted self is on screen. Back on the plane, Jinho smiles warmly, looking forward to having fun with new friends. The plane streaks across the sky as Jinho wonders if his good looks and grades will finally help him make lots of friends. The scene shifts to a grand building under a starry sky in Milan, Italy. Jinho lies spread-eagled on his bed, looking utterly bewildered, his glasses set aside. He realizes with a shock that absolutely no one has spoken to him yet. The narration reveals Jinho overlooked a crucial detail in his quest for friendship. The language exchange students are all honor students, their confidence forged through academic success. With his perfect grades, Jinho is seen as an intimidating ecosystem disruptor by his peers. He naively thinks speaking fluent Italian will attract friends, but they just look more intimidated. Other students whisper that he's in a whole different world, further isolating him. Back in his room, Jinho, now wearing a face mask, finds social rules baffling and worries about being alone. Later, Jinho sits alone at an outdoor cafe, scrolling through his phone, still isolated. Jinho sits at Paradiso sulla Terra, admitting his loneliness even cost him sleep. He decides on an early breakfast, but his appetite wanes. Thinking looks and smarts aren't enough. One bite of the croissant, however, and he exclaims, "Oh, it's delicious," his appetite instantly returning. The freshly baked croissant is shown, its crispy exterior giving way to stretchy, cheese-like dough. Happily munching, Jinho wonders about the unique jam, something new to him. He glances over, noticing a well-dressed man reading a newspaper at a nearby table. The perspective shifts, showing Jinho alone, while the man's stylish shoe gleams in the foreground. Jinho, with a subtle blush, adjusts his posture, perhaps trying to look more composed. He sips his coffee, resolving not to sulk, feeling like a cool guy in Milan. Suddenly, Jinho screams, spitting out his coffee in utter shock or disgust. Jinho coughs, exclaiming, "Ugh, it's bitter. Did I order the wrong thing?" Checking his receipt, a stylish blonde woman leans in, explaining, "In Italy, caf means espresso. Didn't the owner tell you?" Jinho, flustered, admits he didn't know, internally remarking, "Oh, she's super pretty," and praising her native-like Italian. She smiles, "Your facial expressions are so vivid, I couldn't help talking to you. Are you a model? Or maybe an actor?" He shyly replies he's just a new college student as she declares, "Wow, you're wasting your talent." And he awkwardly thanks her beauty. "Ha, you need to work harder. You're too reserved," she says, handing him a card from Agenzia Italiana as Jinho thinks, "I'm screwed. But thanks for the compliment," she whispers, kissing his cheek. Leaving Jinho utterly stunned and blushing, she tells him, "If you're interested, contact me," adding, "And try to act more in line with your looks. Straighten your back." A close-up reveals her sharp, appraising gaze as she looks him over. She then adds, "If I had seen you without glasses, I would have kissed your lips, not your cheek," making Jinho blush even harder. As she departs, she coolly remarks, "What a shame," leaving Jinho utterly frozen. Hand to his kiss cheek. Jinho's mind explodes. "Oh my god, in my life, to be hit on by such a fiery beauty." Replaying her words, he removes his glasses, a dazed smile on his face, clutching her card. "Wait, I have to save her number, huh?" The sleek card clearly displays Agenzia Italiana, Italy model agency in gold lettering. Jinho blushes furiously, realizing, so it was street casting, as a memory of his mom's voice chides him for daydreaming. Suddenly, he clutches his head, exclaiming, "Spicy, so spicy." As the person from the other table asks, "What's spicy?" Jinho touches his cheek where she kissed him, a soft, surprised "oh" escaping his lips. The person is Kim Seungmi, the program guide, who sighs and "Seungmi, I told you to call me Nuna. Don't provoke me. I worked till dawn." Jinho remarks, "You woke up pretty early for someone who worked all night," as Seungmi, recalling her exhaustion on the plane, says it's a waste to sleep in Italy. Seungmi observes he's also up early. Jinho claims excitement, though internally he admits, "I couldn't sleep well." Jinho considers asking Seungmi for help with his social struggles, thinking she might understand. Seungmi's own delicious-looking breakfast arrives as she casually asks Jinho what his problem is. A waiter sets down an unexpectedly lavish tray for Seungmi, much more than just a croissant. Both Seungmi and Jinho stare in stunned silence at the elaborate spread before her. Jinho marvels at the adult's financial power on display, while Seungmi denies ordering so much. Seungmi, convinced there's a mistake, asks Jinho to speak to the owner for her. Jinho explains to the cafe owner that his companion didn't order such a large meal, but the owner insists it's correct. Jinho is aghast, immediately suspecting the worst as he asks why the order is so extravagant. He fears they're falling victim to a classic tourist scam, overcharged for unordered food. The owner, however, gives a surprisingly charming reason. Seungmi's gem-like eyes made him want her to stay longer. Jinho is utterly baffled by the owner's flowery compliment to Seungmi. He internally debates whether to translate the cheesy line, as a hungry Seungmi impatiently waits. The scene flashes to a bright, almost comically romantic sky, emphasizing the owner's charm. Seungmi, hearing the compliment, laughs delightedly, thanking the winking owner profusely. Jinho, concerned, asks Seungmi if the owner's forwardness made her uncomfortable. Seungmi coolly dismisses his concern, asking why she be bothered by pure kindness. She then turns the tables, teasing Jinho about Kim being hit on earlier that morning. Jinho blushes, realizing Seungmi witnessed his encounter with the model scout. Seungmi internally muses on Jinho's surprising innocence, given his apparent potential. She then wonders if his naivety is like an elephant conditioned by a small restraint. Seungmi stirs her drink, offering Jinho some TV writer advice about broadcasting. Jinho guesses, pretty celebrities and good cameras. Lighting too. As Seungmi probes his reasoning, he explains visuals are key to catch eyes and boost ratings. As a glamorous woman appears with a rising graph, Seungmi then asks if visuals are the secret to challenging Big Bell's ratings, making Jinho flinch. She defines broadcasting simply as broadcast, a blend of broad and cast, with color bars on screen. If you've caught someone's attention and have something to say, Seungmi explains, you throw it out there. She points to his morning. That beautiful woman caught your eye with her looks, and handed you a card. And the cafe owner caught my eye with service. She continues, then shared a message. Seungmi admits, of course, it doesn't always end nicely, illustrating with a lone purple flower. A flashback shows a girl fleeing, crying, I got confessed to by a fat ugly guy. As he stands dejected. The dejected guy from the flashback mutters, right, as the word gross hangs in the air. Seungmi looks intently, remarking, but still, you delivered the message. She smiles confidently, feathers drifting around her as she asks, isn't that enough? The scene shifts to a bright, sunny day with a tour bus parked near an elegant building. Someone on the bus thoughtfully flips through an Italia guidebook. A flashback shows a woman struggling with Italian phonetics, wondering how to pronounce words from her book. Startled, she looks up as someone calls out, hey, while she thinks, by the way, Seungmi. Back in the present, Jinho asks Seungmi, what if the person just hated me? Seungmi advises, don't hang out with them. Why spend time with someone who dislikes you? She pauses, fork hovering, and adds a thoughtful, but Seungmi's advice continues, that's not something you need to worry about, as a kind man offers. Can I help? The scene then cuts to a magnificent Italian cathedral, gleaming in the sun. Nearby, Jinho and a companion look utterly miserable, craving Korean ramen and kimchi stew. His friend spots the church, exclaiming, let's pray for kimchi stew to rain down. A small boy is already there, shivering as he prays in Italian for kimchi stew, while a voice notes, Jinho's here. The boy then sees a rough-looking Jinho on a bench, teasing, you look rough, as Jinho pleads, help me. Suddenly, we're back with Seungmi, as Tex declares her advice a success. She asks if Jinho's problem is solved. Her words clearly worked, unlocking Jinho's hidden courage, catching the eye of two women on a bus. One woman whispers in disbelief, he's actually talking to people now. I thought he was in his not washing his face. That courage spread, the narrator confirms, as the women watch Jinho, visibly impressed by his change. Jinho's newfound confidence even lands him on Instagram, posing smoothly with new friends. His post blows up with likes, But naturally, it also sparks some envy from other guys. 2 hours later, his male tour mates are already demanding photos, one mockingly telling him to lose the glasses. 5 hours in, and Jinho's still the designated model, now being told to straighten up for yet another picture. He's comically become their human lighting reflector, tied down as they snap away, begging for mercy. Surprisingly, this ordeal makes him a true man to his male companions, though he dreads more photo ops. One guy declares good-looking people are like walking photo booths, as Jinho's cute poses are displayed. The same friend grins, making a finger heart, wisely stating, moderation is key, as a kid mimics in the back. Suddenly, the guys are chasing Jinho, shouting get him, as the girls from the bus watch. Confused, one girl defends him, phone displaying his popular post, yelling, "Hey, don't bully our Jinho." A phone notification chimes, and 10,000 others like this flashes on screen. Jinho's eyes widen in shock, electric blue energy crackling around him. He stands abruptly, a strange power surging through him as he exclaims, "Ak, what is this?" Jinho wonders, feeling like he's wearing clothes that don't fit. He realizes it's uncomfortable asterisk, not asterisk, to straighten his back, a new sensation coursing through him. Could it be? Jinho exclaims, holding the Italy model agency card, asking if they posted the photos. Oh, of course. One girl beams, showing her phone. It just passed 10,000 likes. Why? Elsewhere, fingers fly across a keyboard, typing rapidly. A Reset Life message board post titled Skill, "I'm the best unlock method discovered" appears, buzzing with comments. The author, 99 Life, explains the first unlock in a modeling offer. Take a photo. Upload it. Easy, right? The message board reveals the second unlock, 10,000 in-game SNS likes, a feat deemed impossible by some. The skilled player 99 Life scoffs, suggesting noobs just make 10,000 accounts for the likes. A delicious-looking chocolate and strawberry gelato sits invitingly on a table. Jinho, now radiating confidence, realizes he's unlocked the skill "I'm the best." He ponders the limits of his new powers, questioning if he can unlock all 99 skills and if there are side effects. Jinho smirks, feeling like he's hit a jackpot of game rewards, thinking, this is awesome. Suddenly, he's imagined in a gelato ad, charming a girl while another guy looks on with disgust. Jinho snaps back to reality, his eyes sharp as he declares, that's not it. He spots a commotion nearby, wondering if a fight has broken out among the crowd. The crowd stares intently as someone off-screen yells critiques at an unseen poser. No, that's not the pose. A frustrated director screams, forget it. I'm done. I quit. A woman on the phone coolly dismisses someone. Take your model and leave. She stands behind the dejected director, who slumps in a chair, the shoot seemingly over. Jinho texts a friend about the brutal pro model world he's witnessing. Suddenly, the director spots something, making a finger frame and uttering, wait. A wide, almost crazed grin spreads across the director's face as he exclaims, ha. His finger frame lands on an oblivious Jinho. The director declares, bring me that Asian. Jinho looks up, a subtle, confident smirk playing on his lips as the director demands him. The skill I'm the best activates, explaining people shine brightest under an audience's gaze. Text concludes against a dreamy sky. There are people who were born to be in the spotlight. The original model's manager scoffs, clearly displeased by the sudden change. Leonardo, the fired model, fumes, unbelievable. They're using another model instead of me. That rookie? Jinho, meanwhile, gets his makeup professionally done, looking effortlessly cool. He innocently asks about itchy makeup, revealing his inexperience. As the makeup artist dryly advises, endure it. Leonardo sneers at the photographer's choice, muttering, sure, he's good looking. But that's not the only reason. The director explains his insight. People like us can tell at a glance. You can feel the aura even in a crowd. A phone screen reveals a recently ended call with Aunt Seung-mi must call her Nuna. The director informs the photographer, I just got permission to shoot from the coordinator. Who deems it good news? The photographer eyes Jinho skeptically. But are you really a professional model? Jinho, exuding confidence, calmly replies, if you're asking about my experience, then no. A bright studio light suddenly flashes on. Jinho adjusts his cufflink, adding, but if you're asking about my skill, he declares with a sharp gaze, then yes, I am a professional model. Jinho clarifies, I'm just not well known yet, so I don't have an agency. An elephant's eye, weary and bound, is shown in a symbolic cut. Suddenly, chains shatter with a powerful burst of light. The elephant walks free, leaving its broken tether behind, symbolizing newfound freedom. The photographer stares, utterly dumbfounded, exclaiming, what the? Camera flashes pop as the photographer excitedly yells, nice, very nice. He directs Jinho, raise your chin, look arrogant, now, let's shoot with props. The photographer thinks, I just watched the shoot. but I can already see it. A magazine mock-up appears titled Contents 10, New Dress, the photo shoot, featuring Jinho. The photographer muses that Jinho's presence freezes the reader's hands and their eyes. He gulps, admitting, more than anything. The photographer, awestruck, exclaims, "It's amazing," as Jinho poses flawlessly. Leonardo, the fired model, confesses, "I was watching with the intention of spitting on the artist's face if it was terrible." He concedes, "But I just realized the gap in our skill levels as a clock tower chimes." The scene shifts to a bright cityscape, Seoul, South Korea. Water sprays from a showerhead in a sunlit bathroom. A hand firmly turns off the shower faucet. Strong hands roughly towel dry a damp chest. Through the steam, a figure emerges from the shower, a sudden thought striking. A refreshing Hwa sound effect fills the panel, signifying a cool feeling. Jinho, towel draped, admires his reflection, thinking, handsome, and reflecting on his eventful trip. He recalls the director's offer. "Let's shoot together again, if you come to Korea." He also remembers making many friends, comically pulled for farewell shots. But then, a voice reminds him, "Oh, Jinho, you got paid a hefty model fee. What are you gonna do with it?" Jinho muses that out of everything, the best part was a woman's hand adjusting a new scarf. His mother stands in the kitchen, a gentle smile on her face, wearing the gifted scarf. Jinho, at breakfast, remarks, "This must be the first time I bought a gift for mom and dad." Then asks why she's wearing it so early. His mom beams, "My son bought it, of course I'll show it off everywhere. And your dad's even worse." At an oil tank gas station, an employee praises the boss for raising a son who aced the CSAT. The gas station attendant notices Jinho's dad's new watch, who casually dismisses it as nothing special. Dad proudly reveals Jinho bought the watch with his Italy modeling money, sparking a suggestion he modeled for the gas station. A bright sky with soaring birds symbolizes the parents' immense pride. Back at breakfast, Jinho's mom casually brings up a new topic. "Oh right, son." She asks from the kitchen sink, "You know Aunt Jinsuk, right?" Jinho recalls Aunt Jinsuk, the annoying lady who often belittled him and his mother. Mom's eyes flare with hidden rage as she reveals Aunt Jinsuk wants Jinho to tutor her kid. She crushes a mug, milk spilling, while reluctantly considering, well, she's mom's friend. So if she insists, Jinho tells his mom he could tutor, but doesn't want to pressure Aunt Jinsuk about fees. Mom, relieved, realizes Jinho gave her the perfect excuse to refuse Aunt Jinsuk. Jinho then brightly asks, "Then how about Aunt Mi-young?" He recalls Aunt Mi-young, who always sided with him and his mom, even scolding others for them. Aunt Mi-young fiercely defended Jinho, asking who else gave him more pocket money. She once angrily told someone not to badmouth the company in front of its biggest shareholder, herself. Jinho explains Aunt Mi-young has given him more allowance than he can count, and Mom agrees. He proudly touches his chin, glad he earned that national top student skill. Later, Jinho, in formal shoes, tells his mom she doesn't need to come to his entrance ceremony. He adjusts his suit cuff, confirming it's the one from Italy, as Jae-jun said he must wear it. Jae-jun slams the table, declaring a suit is the symbol of adulthood for a new college student. Jinho, stressed, wonders what else a new university student would wear, then exclaims, "Damn, a suit?" His mom, arms crossed, remarks, "Really? It wasn't like that in our time," as Jinho stands ready. Jinho smiles, waving goodbye, promising to call if he's running late. Now on the bus, Jinho, looking sharp in his suit, confidently thinks, "I'm off." Students head towards the university building under a bright, sunny sky. Two students on campus look back, utterly surprised and impressed by someone. Other students stare as Jinho walks by, murmuring, "Oh, look at that guy." Jinho stands out, the only one in a full suit among casually dressed peers. He smirks, overhearing whispers about his attire, and thinks, "Gotta post this on **** time." Jinho furiously texts Jae-jun, who finds the suit situation hilarious. Steaming with anger, Jinho vows, "That's it. I'm going to kill Park Jae-jun." Meanwhile, at the Department of Business Administration, panic sets in. Jinho's still not here. An upperclassman frantically asks another to call Jinho, who's supposed to give the freshman speech. The class rep shouts back, frustrated he doesn't know Jinho, who skipped orientation. They recall Jinho missed orientation for a language program, now labeling him an arrogant punk for being late. The angry student imagines Jinho casually strolling in with an iced Americano. Nearby, the female students look at a phone, one exclaiming, "Dahi, look at this." The phone displays Jinho's **** time post. A girl wondering how he's handsome even with his face partly hidden. Her friend gushes, "No way, he's a junior of ours, right? Please let him be one." Dahi and her friend look up from the phone, surprised and uttering a hesitant Jinho, strikingly handsome in his suit, approaches. asking if they're business administration seniors. Flustered and blushing, the girls stammer a confirmation, clearly captivated. He smoothly introduces himself as Jinho, the freshman representative, apologizing for his tardiness. An enraged upperclassman immediately confronts him, bellowing about being on time. Jinho, completely unfazed by the outburst, simply offers a dazzling, confident smile. The senior's fury instantly melts away, stunned as he thinks, oh, he's unbelievably hot. A symbolic close-up, an elephant's eye reflecting a profound, sudden shift in perception. Metaphorically, the heavy chains of the senior's anger and judgment snap violently apart. The elephant, now unbound, calmly walks towards a new, brighter horizon, its tether broken. The senior's eyes widen in disbelief. What the he stammers. Elsewhere, camera flashes pop as a photographer shouts, "Nice, very nice." The photographer directs Jinho during a high-fashion shoot, "Raise your chin, now with props." An editor, observing, thinks excitedly, "I just watched, but I can already see it." The magazine's spread is already complete, showcasing Jinho's new dress photoshoot. Its impact promises to freeze readers' hands and captivate their eyes. The editor, deeply impressed, gulps, acknowledging its undeniable allure. Jinho's image radiates, "Simply it's amazing," declares the shot. A shadowy figure confesses, "I was ready to spit on the artist's face if it was terrible. But I just realized the gap in our skill levels," they admit as a clock tower looms. The story shifts to Seoul, South Korea, showing a cityscape of apartment buildings. Suddenly, a shower head sprays water, indicating a change of scene or thought. Jinho panics, realizing his suit stunt might make him a college loner. A light bulb flashes above Jinho's head. He's had an idea. The previously angry senior announces Jinho is filming an interview for Korea Tomorrow. Korea Tomorrow is revealed as Korea's top university magazine, a dream feature for students. The senior muses that Jinho's perfect score and looks made him an obvious choice. He confesses he was torn when he received the offer himself. Jinho, in a flashback, strategized how to link his image to Korean University's business department. The prestigious Korea University building appears, known for its top-tier business department. Jinho's mom beams, stylishly flaunting her new scarf in the kitchen. At breakfast, Jinho notes the scarf, his first ever gift to his parents. Mom gushes she'll show it everywhere, adding Dad's even more ecstatic. At Dad's gas station, an employee marvels at the boss who raised a CSAT genius. The attendant then spots Dad's unfamiliar, expensive-looking watch. Dad proudly reveals Jinho bought it with his Italian modeling money. A sky filled with butterfly-shaped clouds mirrors their soaring parental joy. Back home, mid-meal, his mom suddenly remembers something important. Turning from the sink, she asks, "Son, you know Aunt Jinsuk, right?" Over a convenience store backdrop, a voice cackles, "I didn't think you'd fall for it. You really boarded the plane without taking off your shoes." Jae-jun, at the convenience store counter, casually asks Jinho, "So, how was the shoot yesterday?" A flashback shows the Korea Tomorrow photographer, blushing and flustered, begging Jinho for one more time. Jinho, in the flashback, poses perfectly with a notebook as the photographer insists, "Seriously, just one more time." The magazine's staffer pulls the photographer away, exclaiming, "Stop shooting. We still have to do Jinho's interview." Back in the present, Jinho smirks. "What can I say? I crushed it," and presents a thick stack of papers. A flashback shows the senior giving Jinho the papers, a meticulously organized guide to professors, majors, and clubs. Jinho suddenly declares to Jae-jun, "I'm switching to guitar class as my elective." Jae-jun asks why, and Jinho beams. Every young Korean dreams of slinging a guitar and backpacking across the country. Jinho continues, imagining, on a free period, you sit on the grass, pull out your guitar, crack open a beer. Isn't that just the vibe? Jae-jun, rummaging through a box, admits, "Now that you mention it, I kind of feel it, right?" Jae-jun sprays air freshener at Jinho, declaring his taste absolute trash and calling him a ghost of the 1980s. Jinho retorts, "What if someone in your family is from the 80s? That's disrespectful." While Jae-jun internally admits he's distractingly good-looking, Jae-jun shouts back that Jinho walking around like that is the most disrespectful thing of all. Jinho defends his red coat over a white t-shirt. Red is stylish, white is clean. As Jae-jun calls him a crazy amanita mushroom freak, Jae-jun exclaims, "If I were your mom, I'd cry," just as his actual mom, the store owner, appears. Furious, Jae-jun's mom grabs him, yelling, "You think I gave you double pay just to mess around?" As Jinho watches, Jae-jun quickly clarifies, "And that outfit Jinho's wearing, his mom bought it for him. Get your facts straight." Jae-jun, enlightened, gives a thumbs up. No wonder it had that avant-garde flair, and offers Jinho a snack. The scene dramatically shifts to an opulent building, captioned Chief Designer's Office, France. Inside, voices exclaim in shock. What are you saying, Tim Johns? You're going to Korea. A colleague exclaims, Paris Fashion Week is right around the corner. Have you lost your mind? As another despairs, our lead designer team must be cursed. Tim Johns smirks as the colleague questions his sanity. We finally overcame your slump. And now this. You think you'll find some no-name Asian model just like that? Tim Johns coolly adjusts his sunglasses, a glint of determination in his eyes. Holding documents, Tim Johns declares with a confident grin, that's exactly why I'm going myself. He reveals Jinho's magazine spread, announcing his journey to the country where my muse awaits. The scene flashes back to a week ago, filled with shouts of creative frustration. This isn't it. And get it together, Team Jones. A staff member sighs, Mr. Team Jones is finally gone mad, while another offers a hopeful, you can do this. A fist slams onto a desk in frustration as a voice remarks, well, it's no surprise. Tim Johns sits dejectedly at a messy desk reflecting, our lead designer has been in a slump he's never experienced before for over a month now, wondering, am I also at the end of the road? An empty teacup is set down, perhaps signifying a moment of pause or resignation. Tim Johns sighs, it's over now. No matter how much coffee I drink, I can't find inspiration. He remembers a time when this cafe's coffee sparked ideas, but now it barely keeps him awake. As a drop hits his drink, he thinks, at times like this, I envy Mr. Rackabolt. Suddenly, Mr. Rackabolt at another table reacts ecstatically to his coffee as Tim Johns asks, is the coffee that good, Mr. Rackabolt? Rackabolt's eyes blaze with renewed vigor, exclaiming, just imagining a muse drinking this coffee. My inspiration's back again. As Rackabolt rushes off to sketch, Tim Johns mutters he's finally resorted to drugs. Tim Johns sips his coffee, wondering, is having a muse really that great? Seriously pathetic. Inspiration should come from within. The scene shifts to present day, showing Tim Johns weeping, exclaiming, I'm jealous. He throws a tantrum, shouting, I want a muse too. As a little girl points, telling her mom, Mom, he's insane. A single tear rolls down Tim Johns' cheek as he overhears someone say, wow, I didn't expect this brand to use an Asian model. To women admire a magazine, one saying, the suit looks so comfortable. Should I buy one for my man too? As Tim Johns listens, Tim Johns abruptly stands, his hand gripping the back of his chair. He smirks, thinking, that's the power of fashion. It makes viewers want to wear it themselves. His eye widens in a sudden, intense realization. A determined Tim Johns spots a blonde colleague across the room. He strides purposefully towards the colleague, who notes his timing. Tim Johns, viewed from above, commands, pull up the full list of Asian male models from the latest B*K magazine by tomorrow. He snaps his fingers, adding, I want to focus all day, so no one disturbs me. As his colleague looks annoyed, the blonde colleague sighs, leave it. It's not like it's the first time. As the other woman comments on his usual behavior, she continues, and you know too. Once Tim Jones starts showing those puppy eyes, no one can stop him. As Tim Johns beams innocently, the sun shines brightly over the Parisian building, marking the start of Tim Johns' focus day. Night falls, the crescent moon hanging over the same building, as Tim Johns works tirelessly. A pencil sketches rapidly as Tim Johns exclaims with a laugh, haha. Tim Johns stands triumphantly amidst his designs, shouting, this is IT. This is exactly IT. Inspiration exploding. He gazes at Jinho's magazine cover, declaring, I will find them, my muse. The scene shifts to a modern building under a bright, sunny sky, a new location. Inside, a stylish woman with dark hair sits confidently, holding a tablet and smiling. She looks up, a knowing smile on her face, as if addressing someone familiar. A young man in a hoodie appears, cheekily asking, so, why is Aunt Mi Young sitting with her legs crossed? He presents a bouquet of flowers, as Aunt Mi Young replies, you can live however you want once you're past your mid-40s. He compliments her youthful looks, as Mi Young chuckles, asking if he's flattering the major shareholder. The young man insists with a sweet smile, you're exaggerating too much. He earnestly explains Mi Young restored his pride when he was at his lowest. A memory showing her pinching his cheeks. Mi Young snaps a picture, proudly noting he looks more handsome now and really does. She then presents a Christian Dior bag, declaring it a college entrance gift. He thanks her, blushing, then hesitantly asks if he can offer a different gift instead of the bouquet. The young man looks at the sparkling designer bag, feeling he received something far too extravagant. Mi Young, amused, remarks that her boy appreciates a good bag and has an eye for fashion after all. He clarifies he only recognizes the logo because it's all over the dramas his mom watches. Mi-young laughs, reassuring him it's a cheap 5001 knockoff from the market. To his immense relief, Mi-young smirks. Did you fall for that? Of course it's authentic, as the young man gasps. Aunt Mi-young. She thoughtfully touches her chin, musing. Brand name value is fascinating, isn't it? Mi-young explains sometimes a brand symbolizes sincerity, like a red ginseng gift set. And sometimes, she continues, it exponentially raises an ordinary item's price, like a luxury tape bracelet. She notes brands used to guarantee performance, but now people buy just for the name. Mi-young likens a brand mark's power to instantly increase value to King Midas touch. The young man laughs, agreeing it's like Midas touch, then asks why she's suddenly telling him all this. Mi-young looks intently at him, calling him Jinho. She leans back, questioning, why is it only now that I see your Midas touch? Mi-young's eye narrows as she wonders why she didn't realize her son's potential sooner. Despite a little weight gain, Jinho thinks they say studying changes a person. He wonders if his aunt knows his secret, a reset life. Mi-young asks, son, do you by chance want to drop out and join Annie's company? Jinho is taken aback, huh? Mi-young praises his credentials, worried another company might snatch him. Jinho deflects, suggesting they discuss Ji-young's tutoring instead. He thinks his aunt couldn't possibly know about his reset life. Mi-young details Ji-young's English tutoring needs. Mi-young sighs, explaining previous tutors haven't lasted. Jinho smirks, remembering Ji-young as an innocent Pokemon kid, now thinking she's all grown up. He confidently assures Mi-young, just trust me. I'll show you what a perfect score on the CSAT can do. Mi-young proposes discussing the tutoring fee, but Jinho jokes he'll vanish if she pays too much. Later, Mi-young's finger presses buttons on a sleek, modern door lock. Entering a lavish apartment, Mi-young asks, where's Ji-young? And is told she's in her room. Mi-young's hand gently knocks twice on a closed door. She calls out softly, are you asleep, sweetie? Inside, Ji-young lies in her dimly lit room, intensely focused on her glowing phone screen. Mi-young announces through the door, Mommy signed you up for English tutoring today. It starts next week. She reveals, your tutor is Jinho, and Ji-young's eye widens in sudden recognition. Ji-young recalls a younger Jinho in bunny ears, whom she playfully poked. Mi-young stands outside, hands still raised, a look of realization dawning. She turns away, muttering, how can I even call myself mom? A close-up shows Mi-young's eye, a glint of understanding within. Ji-young peeks out her door, blushing, asking, it's true, right? Her thought bubble appears. I'll get to see Teddy Bear Oppa next week. The scene shifts to a sunny Saturday, showing a modern building in Dongdaemun. Two young women giggle as they walk past shops, one covering her mouth. Two stylish men stroll along, one complaining, why, on such a beautiful day, do I have to walk around Dongdaemun with a guy? Of all people? The other man grins. You're the one with the best eye for fashion, come on, help me out. What are friends for? As his friend retorts, yes, seriously, what are they for? His friend grins, giving a thumbs up, fine. But you're buying me whatever I want today within 30,000 won. He then curiously asks, but really, what made you suddenly want to change your style? As Jinho trails off, a lot happened. Jinho reveals his phone, but especially this, prompting his friend's surprise. Wait, you had social media? The screen shows a Today Story post mocking Jinho's old fashion, making his friend roar with laughter. Wahaha, this is you, right? Jinho protests, I only installed the app yesterday, as more embarrassing fashion pics appear. Lamenting he's become the poster boy for bad fashion. He admits, on the bright side, I did make a lot of friends in my department, recalling classmates noticing his infamous style. His friend wonders, but why Dongdaemun? There are tons of affordable brands elsewhere. As they navigate the bustling market, Jinho smirks confidently, it's fine. Anything I wear becomes high fashion, earning a skeptical, what a load of crap. A flashback shows Mi-young pondering, and yet, why is it only now that I can see your Midas touch? Jinho strides forward, thinking, if what Annie said is true, this might be my chance to repay that favor from 3 years ago. A man named Ji-hyung gasps into his phone, you're quitting. Jang Ji, a shopping mall owner, can't believe it, the new spring line just dropped today. He protests, but you haven't paid me in 3 months. I'm struggling to. As the call abruptly ends, Ji sighs, his phone on the table, wondering, why is it just me who can't make it? He sits alone in his store, watching shoppers pass, feeling isolated even with so many people around. Ji reflects with a grim expression, I tried everything I could. He recalls his fashion knowledge, hiring models, even paying brokers, yet he's left with nothing. His hand clenches in frustration as he thinks, damn it all. Deokji slumps on a stool, gazing blankly at his clothing racks, a sense of defeat washing over him. His fist tightens as he resolves, time to give up. 3 years in this industry, that's a long run. Deokji leans back, musing, some are born to succeed, others just aren't, right, Jang Deokji? He thinks if some can rock Dongmyo fashion, then some shops are beyond saving, even by legends. Deokji laughs heartily, mine's probably one of those. His laughter fades slightly, a bead of sweat appears as he thinks, but suddenly he spots Jinho confidently striding through the mall. Why does he keep? Jinho walks purposefully, a bright smile on his face, getting closer. Jinho arrives, beaming, and exclaims, Deokji Hyung, it's me, Jinho. A flashback shows Deokji's store as he once yelled, and oh, no, not like that. In the past, Deokji fiercely lectured, running a clothing shop isn't a walk in the park, got it. A younger, flustered Jinho with glasses stammers, yes, Deokji Hyung. Deokji in the past offered Jinho a drink, promising when I open my second store, I'll make you the manager. Younger Jinho then asked, Deokji Hyung, could you record a video of me working with that app? Deokji, filming, mused, a kid who's already chosen his path? What a good kid. But wondered about the Reset Life app. Jinho, back then, thought with a smile he clearly misunderstood, but he was a kind Hyung. Back in the present, Deokji exclaims, you kept coming in every day for 2 weeks, then suddenly disappeared. You're asterisk that asterisk Jinho. Jinho, now looking sharp, grins, I was wondering how you unlocked that skill. As his friend watches, he apologizes for his past disappearance and asks him, would it be okay if I took a look at some clothes? Deokji eagerly agrees. Deokji proudly presents a sleek gray shirt, announcing, this one's our newest rival. Jinho turns to his friend, Park Jejin, what do you think? Jejin replies, looks great to me. Jejin suggests if you pair it with white Kimba sneakers it'd be absolutely perfect, prompting Jinho to ask Deokji, who eagerly rushes off. Deokji watches nervously as Jinho and Jejin inspect the clothes. The white canvas sneakers complete Jinho's fresh new look. He strikes a confident pose in the new outfit, looking effortlessly stylish. Jinho boasts, looks like luxury when I wear it, right? As Jejin grudgingly agrees. As Jinho offers to buy the set, Jejin's model shoot comment makes Deokji interject, Jinho. Deokji clenches his fist, realizing, this might be the last chance I've got. He looks at Jinho with desperate hope, asking, could you grant me just one wish? Jinho, surprised by the earnest plea, clarifies, you mean be your fitting model? Deokji eagerly confirms, yeah, just for an hour, no, even 30 minutes would be enough. Jinho warmly agrees to repay Deokji's past kindness, leaving Deokji tearfully grateful. Deokji frantically searches for his wallet, insisting, oh, right, I better pay you before you change your mind. He pulls out a wallet stuffed with cash, determined to settle the score for Jinho's help. Deokji tries to hand over the money, but Jinho looks hesitant while Jejin watches the exchange. Overwhelmed with emotion, Deokji tearfully declares, I'll take out a loan if I have to. Loaded with shopping bags, the friends prepare to leave Deokji's revitalized store. Jinho, carrying his share, quips, feels like I overpaid somehow. But Jejin reminds him he saved the clothes. Jejin strikes a pose with the bags, joking. Rich housewife who just cleaned out a department store, that's the concept. As they walk, Jinho muses, it still feels unfair. How do you buy clothes and end up making money? Jejin retorts while crossing the street. That's exactly how I've felt about you these past 7 years, man. He reminds Jinho of his childhood luck. Extra ice cream for being good-looking? Free sodas at BBQ joints? Jinho, stunned, realizes his luck was just a perk of being good-looking. Jejin, fuming, retorts that Jinho's had everything handed to him since birth. Jejin demands a meal, but Jinho sighs as a figure approaches them. Suddenly, a voice calls out Jinho, making him freeze in surprise. A mysterious woman, face shadowed, exclaims with delight, oh my god, it is you, Jinho. As she greets them, Jinho struggles to recall who this familiar face is. Jejin, however, reacts with visible disgust, clearly remembering her unfavorably. The woman introduces herself brightly as Bora, a middle school classmate. A flashback reveals Bora once confessed to someone named Yang Yode, hinting at past drama. A note calls her actions gross, recalling her past haunt. You totally had a crush on me back then. Jinho unconvincingly claims, yeah, of course I remember. Bora, as she beams, I knew it. Bora gushes, asking how he recognized her, then reveals, you're famous on social media as the typical neighborhood oppa. Jejin scoffs internally, oh, so now that I'm handsome and famous, you want to act like we're close. He recalls Bora spreading nasty rumors after rejection, then fleeing the neighborhood thinking, shameless. Bora, oblivious to Jejin's disdain, nervously twiddles her fingers. Jinho. Since we met like this by chance, she brightly suggests, how about we grab a cup of coffee together? Jinho's expression shifts subtly from neutral to a cool, almost dismissive smile. He simply replies, sorry, and Bora's hopeful face metaphorically shatters. Jinho, with a polite but firm smile, states, I'm a bit busy right now, so I don't think I can. I'll get going then. Desperate, Bora calls out, wait, then can we at least exchange numbers? Bora, utterly stunned, demands with a forced smile, no. Why not? Jinho, turning away with Jejin, coolly states, the reason, you know better than anyone. He offers a polite parting, it was really nice seeing you again. Take care, as Jejin glares. Jejin questions his kindness, but Jinho simply replies, still. She was a classmate from middle school. Bora's hand clenches in fury as she calls out, hey, Lee Jinho. She then scoffs, you think I'm trying to hit on you? Walking with that stuck-up girl must make you feel like a prince. Bora's face twists in rage, yelling, hey, that face of yours, it won't last forever anyway. As they walk off, Jejin mutters, what a jerk, while Jinho remains composed. Jejin then playfully urges, Prince, Resume's belly's about to burst. Let's get to the ball already. Jinho leaps onto Jejin's back, shouting let's go, Resumes, as Jejin laughs, leaving Bora fuming. Bora glares after them, muttering about a stuck-up girl. The scene shifts to Yeonam Pig House as the sun sets. Jejin, grilling meat, remarks after dissing her that hard, she won't try to act friendly anymore. Jejin then adds, and also, you look cool today, you know? You should have been like this from the start. But Jinho denies it. Jinho muses if back then Bora had just said I'm sorry about that, just those few words. I feel like we'd be at a cafe together right now. Jinho sighs, honestly, even now, I feel a little empty inside. First love really hurts, huh? As Jejin looks down at the grill, Jejin offers Jinho a piece of meat, asking, you know why? Because your intestines are empty. Feeling better now? Jinho eats the meat, thoughtfully agreeing, agreed. Turns out it wasn't emotional emptiness. It was just hunger. Jejin cheers, nice. I've got the money I got from Deok Jihyung, so let's eat all we want. Let's eat till we drop. 1 hour later, Jejin glares at Jinho, thinking, pig bastard. He ate for servings too. As the bill comes to 140,000 won, a strange wet wipe appears, promoting the ancestor church without slogans. A woman offers Jinho the cultish wipe, as he internally questions its bizarre appeal. She hesitates, mentioning she already has a wipe, clearly unsure about the ancestor church. Jinho, ever the charmer, smoothly pivots, offering her unsolicited but intriguing hair advice. Instantly won over by his confidence, the woman eagerly agrees, yes, I'll trust you. Jinho lets out a subtle sigh, perhaps from the effort of his constant charisma. He can't believe it, thinking, this is nuts. That's the 5th stranger I've given fashion advice to today. Turns out, promoting Deokja's store on Instagram also unlocked a new skill for Jinho. A system window reveals the neighborhood fashionista skill, unlocked by SNS likes and reading magazines. Now, his heightened fashion sense makes him critique even his old-school uniform, exclaiming, my fashion is hideous. Jinho, from behind, nervously tells himself, calm down, Lee Jinho. Are you gonna be like this to your seniors too? He steels himself, remembering, today is the club registration day, so focus. Then knocks twice on a door. Peeking in with a smile, Jinho announces, excuse me, I came to apply for a club. He's met with the sight of someone groaning dramatically on a couch, making him jump in surprise. The disheveled senior on the couch groggily asks, huh? Oh hey, isn't that Jinho? What brings you here? Jinho, looking concerned, asks, are you sick, senior? But the senior waves him off, no, just talk from there. Jinho explains, I came to submit a club application form, and the senior's eyes snap open wide. Suddenly energized, the senior leaps up, shouting Orya, club, as Jinho flinches. He slams a pile of forms on the table, declaring, golf, hiking, study, tennis, and soccer. Now beaming, the senior sits properly, asking, which club would you like to join? Our precious junior. Jinho calmly states, tennis, and the senior enthusiastically praises his great choice. Internally, Jinho wonders about the senior's sudden energy as his tennis club application is quickly photographed. The senior, still beaming, reveals with a chuckle that many professors are keenly interested in Jinho. He explains Jinho's magazine shoot pleased the dean, sparking a subtle rivalry among the faculty. A surprised Jinho leans in, asking, what kind of competition? The senior grins, clarifying it's a fierce contest for professors to recruit Jinho into their respective clubs. Admitting he was plotting to recruit him, the senior is delighted Jinho came willingly. Jinho realizes professors advise clubs. The senior advises Jinho to connect later and be wary of other professors, making Jinho question his own campus clout. A flashback shows his business management professor intensely suggesting Jinho will soon appreciate golf. Another memory reveals his economics professor, distracted, sketching a hiking trail instead of a graph, lost in thought about hiking. Jinho recalls another professor eyeing him for the soccer club. Then the scene shifts to the cafeteria. He tells Jejin he spent the whole day dodging professors, just as Jejin predicted. Jinho likens the pressure to a dating sim, as Jejin scoffs at him playing games. Back in the clubroom, the senior gifts Jinho a tennis racket, fully funded by alumni. The senior then leads a surprised Jinho towards a door, saying, "Now then." A glint in the senior's eye reflects a sunlit tennis court, hinting at what's to come. He dramatically reveals the bustling tennis courts, welcoming Jinho to the club. Jinho and a girl watch as a player executes a swift backhand on the court. Another player powerfully strikes the ball, sending it flying across the net. A hand reaches up, poised to catch the tennis ball against the bright, sun-drenched sky. A player unleashes a blazing serve, the tennis ball rocketing forward. Jinho watches in awe as the senior explains an ace, an untouchable serve. Confused by receiver and ace, Jinho is told he'll pick it up with practice. Other club members erupt in cheers. Hey, Gu Yongjae brought Li Jinho. The news spreads, with some mishearing Jinho's grades, amusingly noting the hiking club's dismay. The senior observes, "Hey, look at that, Jinho's been at it for an hour already." A hand elegantly tosses a tennis ball, preparing for a serve. Jinho focuses intently, swinging his racket with determination. His serve attempt falls short, the ball bouncing feebly on his side of the court. The senior and another member grimace. Another whiff. He's terrible. Jinho lets out a frustrated sigh, the tennis net looming before him. He sits, gathering tennis balls, admitting it's not going well as he's barely played before. Despite the senior's cheers, Jinho knows he's still lagging far behind in skill. He watches intently as other club members rally on the court. A tennis ball connects perfectly with a racket soaring against the bright sky. Jinho pauses, a thought dawning. Should I just unlock the skill now? A system notification displays the skill, Prince of Tennis, promising he could instantly surpass everyone. The first requirement, holding a racket, is met. The second is 100 rallies. He muses that if someone helps him achieve 100 rallies, he'll truly impress them. Yet a shiver runs down his spine as he wonders, so why do I feel so uneasy about it? A footstep sounds as someone approaches Jinho on the court. The senior startles Jinho, asking what he's pondering so deeply. Jinho blurts out an apology, much to the senior's surprise. He confesses feeling unskilled and like a burden to the tennis club. The senior pauses, taking in Jinho's unexpected self-criticism. Suddenly, the senior erupts into a hearty, understanding laugh. He reassures Jinho that club activities aren't about skill, but participation. Tossing a ball, the senior emphasizes that having fun is what truly counts. Jinho, gathering balls, considers the senior's wisdom about enjoying the process. A look of realization dawns in Jinho's eyes as he murmurs, "I see." Jinho declines the senior's offer to rally, realizing he almost missed what truly matters. The scene shifts to an impressive, modern house under a bright sky. Inside, a plate of sliced apples is served as someone confirms Jinho is the new English tutor. A man offers Jinho a drink, who politely requests a soft drink. Jinho sips his drink, musing on his aunt's success and her having a housekeeper. Suddenly, a young woman in a school uniform bursts in, calling for her Annie. She cheerfully announces, "I'm home," kicking off as she enters. With a bright smile, she eagerly asks, "So, where's Teddy Bear Appa?" The housekeeper, amused by her dramatic entrance, directs her to the tutor instead. Ji-young looks puzzled as Jinho waves, greeting her with a familiar, "Hi Ji-young. It's been a while." Ji-young gasps, pointing at Jinho. "I remember now," she dramatically declares, "Mom's secret lover." As Jinho looks utterly shocked, Ji-young reveals her mom's phone wallpaper, showing Jinho, accusing, "You're that guy." She demands, "Why are you here? It was supposed to be Teddy Bear Appa." Ji-young wildly accuses Jinho of seducing her mom to steal the tutor spot, leaving him aghast. Humping that she shouldn't have come early, Ji-young stomps up the stairs as Jinho calls and miss. Jinho reminds her she promised to take tutoring seriously, but she retorts about her mom's broken promise. Jinho, his demeanor shifting, calls out sharply, "Hey, pink pig," making Ji-young freeze. His eyes narrow as he sternly asks, "Where did you learn to talk like that?" Ji-young looks completely taken aback, stammering, "Hey, piggy," in disbelief. A flashback reveals a younger Ji-young pestering a younger, chubbier Jinho, demanding he play with her. In the present, Ji-young's mom, flustered, apologizes to the housekeeper for Ji-young's behavior. The housekeeper reassures her, as a photo shows a young Ji-young with her father in a hospital bed. Back in the flashback, little Ji-young vows to unlock the skill so she can play with Jinho. Suddenly, young Ji-young snatches Jinho's phone and hurls it away in frustration. The phone smashes through a window, flying out of the house. Young Jinho stares in disbelief, his glasses cracked as Ji-young yells about him not letting go. Back in the present, Ji-young's mom and the housekeeper are visibly shocked by Jinho's stern tone. Jinho firmly places his hand on Ji-young's head, commanding her to hold her hand straight. He scolds Ji-young for throwing his phone, but she tearfully retorts, "Just buy a new one, you bum." Flashback, a furious young Jinho prepares to strike Ji-young, yelling, "You brat." Body fat sonic boom. Ji-young's mom, hearing the commotion from afar, looks alarmed and apologizes for the disturbance. The housekeeper internally debates intervening, but decides Jinho is actually helping by correcting Ji-young's manners. In the present, Jinho lightly slaps his own wrist, demonstrating something to Ji-young. He explains, "I've lost so much weight, it doesn't even make a sound anymore," as Ji-young watches. Still kneeling, Ji-young, bewildered, finally asks, "Are you really Teddy Bear Appa?" To which Jinho looks flustered. Jinho realizes Ji-young didn't know about his weight loss, meaning she barely talks to her aunt. He understands now the worried expression his aunt, Mi-young, had earlier. Seeing a vision of Ji-young's isolation, Jinho considers Ji-young's loneliness already friendless, and the risk of her losing family ties. With a sigh, Jinho looks at the untouched snacks and tells Ji-young to put her hands down. Jinho reveals he knows Ji-young's been rude to her aunt lately, as she clenches her fist. Ji-young snaps back fiercely, telling him to mind his own business. Jinho, a tiger's aura flaring behind him, questions her sharp retort. Her defiance crumbles instantly, Ji-young looking down as Jinho watches. Jinho softens, assuring her, "It's okay. I didn't come to scold you. I came to help you." He gently asks, "It's been tough, hasn't it?" Catching Ji-young off guard. Jinho points out her aunt Mi-young is super busy, especially after her promotion, leaving Ji-young looking thoughtful. He promises to visit weekly, much to Ji-young's surprise and the housekeeper's admiration. The housekeeper marvels at how Jinho instantly turned the rebellious Ji-young into a gentle lamb. The scene cuts to a nameplate, Vice President Lee Mi-young, revealing her aunt's important position. Vice President Lee Mi-young on the phone asks in disbelief, "Are Ji-young really did that?" The housekeeper excitedly reports Ji-young reviewed her lessons right after Jinho left. Mi-young, reassured, praises Jinho's top university entrance exam score. A warm smile graces Mi-young's face as she looks at her phone, a memory surfacing. Flashback, a little Ji-young hopefully asks her mom, "Aren't you coming to my talent show?" Later, Ji-young hesitates, then tells her mom, "Never mind, you must be tired from work." Ji-young peeks through her mom's door, softly calling, "Mom." Her expression saddens as she wonders if her mom is truly busy with work. Ji-young's heartbreaking thought, "Or am I the one tiring you out?" The door closes on her unspoken wish. If it were Teddy Bear Appa, he would have understood me. Mi-young, weary in her office, murmurs, "If I knew, I should have called you first, son." Her designer bag rests nearby as she ends the call with, "See you tomorrow." Suddenly, a tennis ball walks, numbers 97 and 98 flashing by. The ball spins fiercely, hitting 99 as it whizzes through the air. A racket makes solid contact, sending the tennis ball flying. Jinho executes a powerful shot on the court, the count hitting a perfect 100. His eyes gleam with focus, a skill activating as green leaves flutter. The skill is revealed. The Prince of Tennis, complete with a crown racket. The scene shifts to a bright, sunny day at a school campus. Jinho meticulously crafts Ji-young's tutoring plan, studying a book on meaning of the dots. Jinho observes Ji-young knows advanced words. She's not dumb, just unmotivated. Ji-young tells Jinho, "You don't have to try too hard." She sits across from him, admitting, "Mom doesn't care what score I get anyway." Ji-young elaborates, "Good job for good scores, try harder for bad ones, nothing more." Jinho smirks, calling her mom cool, and mentions a 6th grade realization. She explains normal moms cook or study with their kids, unlike hers. A flashback shows her mom's dismissive good job to a perfect math score. Younger Ji-young, holding a card, thinks, "And he is the only one I can rely on." Jinho, pained, recalls Ji-young's friendless past, relying solely on Aunt Mi-young. He asks Ji-young if she remembers why she only ate organic food at his house. She doesn't. Jinho reveals her aunt meticulously prepared all her food for health reasons, shocking Ji-young. He adds Mi-young even reorganized their fridge. flashing back to her arguing about fictional characters versus a new fridge. Jinho smirks, saying he just thought he'd tell her, figuring she wouldn't have known. He explains her aunt isn't the type to express these things, then warns Ji-young not to slack off. Jinho muses that Ji-young needs someone to understand her feelings and fill an emotional void. While Jinho is studying at a desk, his phone on the table buzzes. His phone displays a group chat message, a friendly tennis match between business and economics departments. A hand waves from a distance under a bright blue sky. Someone calling, "Yo, Jinho." A classmate asked if Jinho took a self-declared break, but Jinho, racket in hand, says class was cancelled. Jinho observes an unusually large crowd of students, wondering if they're all skipping class too. His classmate jokes the crowd came for Jinho, a perfect score hottie rarer than an albino gorilla. The friend then spots a foreign student sketching Jinho, before calling out to Young-jae. Young-jae from the economics tennis club confidently asked if his rival is finally showing up. The business major insists a hangover, not fear, made him miss, but Young-jae scoffs at the excuse. Jinho chuckles, observing the classic animosity between business and economics students. The second-place business student glares, accusing Jinho of mocking him now that he's number one. Jinho snaps back, completely uninterested in the other students' bitter complaints. A slightly surprised Jinho then pieces it together. So you're second place? Young-jae tells the runner-up to leave, but the business student proposes a new challenge. He suggests a match, their department's second ranker against economics top ranker, eyeing Jinho. Young-jae smirks, that might be fun, but Jinho's a total beginner. Is that okay? The business student flaunts his pen whirling. As Young-jae reveals their second ranker is also a novice. Young-jae reassures Jinho nobody expects you to win, as Jinho looks on. Jinho confidently agrees. Yep, just go out there and put on a little show. A sly smile plays on Jinho's lips. This is a perfect chance to test his new skill. Jinho shakes hands with the business student, casually stating they're the same age. The second ranker glares, muttering he can't believe a pretty boy beat him, attributing it to luck. Jinho beams brightly, cheerfully retorting, I'm totally a lucky guy, right? His classmate stares, aghast, as Jinho internally notes this jab is mild compared to his past. The business student twirls his racket, remarking, you're pretty rough. Jinho coolly tells his opponent, then you take the serve. With a swift step, Jinho prepares his stance on the court. He unleashes a powerful serve, the ball a blur. An overhead view shows Jinho's perfect form as he strikes. The ball rockets towards the stunned business student. Jinho's eyes gleam, green leaves signaling his skill is in full effect. The ball lands cleanly for a point, Jinho already in position. 15 love. The business student fumes. You can't serve without warning. Jinho smirks, didn't know about serve and dash. As his opponent realizes the sneak attack failed. Jinho adds, didn't expect that from the first serve, leaving his rival fuming. The tennis ball soars high against the bright blue sky. Jinho, mid-return, internally questions if his rival's aggression is purely about losing first place. He strikes the ball, dismissing the thought, surely, they're too old for such childishness. His opponent glares intensely, making Jinho wonder if this is some elaborate mind game. Jinho then sees the raw fury on his rival's face and thinks, nope, my bad. I overestimated him. The business student swings, his racket connecting powerfully with the ball. The ball lands, kicking up chalk, right on the edge of the line. Young-jae shouts, ho, it hit right on the baseline. It's tied now. But the business student glares, defiantly yelling, OUT. Jinho innocently replies, from what I saw, it was out, while thinking, bullshit. Young-jae explodes, how is that out? Hey, fashion design. You saw that, right? One girl admits she was too busy admiring Jinho's physique, as Young-jae yells for silence. 10 minutes later, the score is 40-0, and the business student is completely freaking out. Young-jae grabs his collar, questioning why he's so worked up over a newbie match with self-discretion calls. The business student retorts it's dirty play, while Jinho calmly observes the outburst. Jinho coolly tosses the tennis ball, preparing to serve amidst the chaos. He reassures Young-jae, it's okay, Young-jae Hyun, diffusing his senior's anger. Jinho balances the ball on his racket, echoing, it's a newbie match, right? With a serene smile, Jinho adds, as long as it's fun, that's all that matters. Internally, Jinho reveals he let the foul slide only to test a newly unlocked skill, never taking his rude opponents seriously. Jinho internally smirks, his new skill perfectly suited for this ill-mannered opponent. Nearby, a hand diligently sketches a figure in a tennis outfit. The foreign student, clearly impressed, murmurs beautiful as he captures the moment. Jinho takes a refreshing sip of water, his expression unreadable. His classmate approaches, bewildered. asking how Jinho pulled off that circus act if he's a beginner. The classmate ponders, recalling the economics senior's earlier jab about pen whirling. He then notes Jinho's strangely professional form, wondering if Youngjae's coaching is finally showing. Jinho and Youngjae strike a cheerful, arm-in-arm pose, Jinho brightly confirming, "That's right." The business student and his senior scowl, the latter muttering about Youngjae's annoying happiness and demanding a win. An announcer declares, "Match resuming," as the excited crowd cheers. The business student smirks, arms crossed. "Why don't you just give up now?" He sneers, "Even if I lost in luck, I won't lose in tennis skills." Jinho bounces the ball, sarcastically thinking, "Yeah right, a beginner. Is this embarrassing noob stomping?" He scoffs internally, embarrassment. That kind of thing is the loser's share. Jinho recalls past accusations, like being shown a yellow card and asked, "Aren't you embarrassed?" He realizes, no, they're angry because they think their team is going to lose. Jinho notes the double standard. If the opposing team does it, cowardly. If their own team does it, they'll shout resourceful. A bead of sweat rolls down Jinho's face as he thinks, ugh, gross. Jinho retorts, "Hey, if you play games with that kind of attitude, you'll get bored. This is just a hobby." Jinho grips the tennis ball, regardless of winning or losing, just like this. Jinho tosses the ball, declaring, "Just mimicking techniques from a manga is so much fun." He recalls his friend's manga recommendation, his own excited reading, and even a doctor's visit after a risky move. With a flash, Jinho's racket connects, the ball igniting with energy. The impact is immense, the ball deforming against the strings. The serve rockets across the court, the business student scrambling to intercept. It's pretty fast. The opponent smirks, but it's not like I can't catch up. He positions himself perfectly, thinking, "Okay, I got here first." As the ball approaches, he anticipates the bounce, ready to strike a spot he could hit even with my eyes closed. But the ball takes an utterly unexpected, wild trajectory after hitting the ground. The business student is baffled as the ball, surrounded by green leaves, zips past him. The business student stares, dumbfounded, as if the ball just teleported past him. He yelps, ducking as the ball smashes into the court right where he stood. Youngjae and his companion gape, realizing the ball bounced the asterisk opposite asterisk way it hit the ground. Youngjae shouts, "American twist serve," while his friend excitedly names a specific ultra tornado shot from a manga. The business student's senior glares at Youngjae's friend, muttering, "What the heck is that? You damn otaku." On the ground, the business student trembles, thinking if he hadn't dodged, that ball would have. Jinho casually walks over, asking, "What are you doing?" Hollywood action. A shadowy Jinho looms over his opponent, coolly telling him, "Get up." The business student, eyes wide with fear and unshed tears, defiantly declares it's not over yet. Jinho turns away with a slight smirk, applauding bravo, leaving his opponent utterly confused. The business student stares, completely lost by Jinho's sarcastic applause. Suddenly, a group of girls erupts, unfurling a Jinho "I love you" banner with a loud swoosh. One student, blushing furiously, stammers that, "What is that perverted foreigner? Oh, my." Two onlookers gasp in unison, recognizing the figure. It's Tim Johns. A spotlight reveals Tim Johns, arms open wide, hailed as the head designer of Seoul. Tim Johns himself makes an overly enthusiastic face, demanding, "Let's see the left cheek too." While one student snaps a picture, another shouts, "To us, he's just a pervert with a huge belly." "Professors, look at this." A phone screen displays a zoomed-in, ecstatic Tim Johns as someone squeals. Zoom in on his pores and record it. The business student's senior explodes, "Damn it all. Is this the audience stand or the Coliseum? Everyone get lost." Above the campus, a voice apologizes amidst the chaos. "Haha, I'm truly sorry." Tim Johns gushes, "Seeing you strike a perfect pose after defeating the villain, I just couldn't resist." While Jinho thinks, "I was just copying a manga." Tim Johns dramatically leans back, asking Jinho why he's there, then declares, "Because I want you to wear my clothes." He thrusts a thick, bookmarked sketchbook towards Jinho, insisting, "Please look at this." Jinho, realizing Tim is determined, reluctantly agrees. "Shall I take a quick look then?" Jinho's eyes widen in utter shock as he gazes into the sketchbook. Inside, countless detailed fashion sketches fill the pages, prompting Jinho to think, "My goodness, this is so utterly perfect." A bead of sweat forms as Jinho admits, "Ever since getting our neighborhood fashionista, I've never been 100% satisfied with any fashion I've seen." Tim Johns, overcome, clutches his chest, exclaiming, "How can such perfect clothes exist?" Pink energy flares around him as he marvels. How can it be elegant yet practical? Surrounded by fiery aura, Tim Johns proclaims, If I could wear something like this just once in my life, that would truly be a successful life. Tim Johns erupts with joy as Jinho wonders how his Korean praise was understood. A stylish heel clicks forward, a voice noting, "Sincerity transcends language barriers." The elegant woman appears, declaring she was also moved by the designs, then calls out, "Son." Jinho stares in shock, "Aunt Mi-young," while Tim Johns excitedly greets her as Angela. Angela warmly embraces Tim Johns with a double air kiss. She explains the Bisa greeting to a mortified Jinho, who recalls Tim's kiss being very real. Jinho stammers his preference for women, but Tim Johns gleefully claims they have that in common. Desperate, Jinho asks his auntie why she's there, as she stands by a sleek car. The scene shifts to her sharply dressed son in the driver's seat. Aunt Mi-young beams from the back seat, now with Jinho and Tim, announcing, "I'm here to hang out with my son." Her son protests about lectures, but Aunt Mi-young coolly suggests he drop out. Driving a luxury car, her son internally processes, and he is the vice president of Choli Korea. Aunt Mi-young confirms, adding with a smile that Tim Johns has been desperately searching for Jinho. Her son elaborates that with Jinho not being a model, their only leads were Asian and good-looking. Jinho, utterly bewildered in the backseat, questions how they possibly located him. His aunt proudly reveals her phone wallpaper of Jinho, explaining they spotted it during a video conference. Jinho begs her to change it, recalling his cousin Ji-young's misunderstanding about mom's secret lover. As they sit in traffic, Jinho wonders why his aunt isn't spending time with Ji-young. Aunt Mi-young turns away, firmly stating, "No way," to Jinho's surprise. Jinho presses further, suggesting that difficulty with Ji-young is precisely why she should spend more time with her. Aunt Mi-young firmly states, "Still can't," as Jinho questions why. She explains it's because they're going to a club, flashing back to a bustling entrance. Minors aren't allowed in clubs, she tells her son, who looks taken aback. Her son nervously jokes, "Should I bring her anyway?" then internally cringes at his own words. Jinho realizes, so that's why Ji-young acted that way before, recalling his cousin's behavior. Aunt Mi-young laments being a 0-point mom, but her son offers encouragement and support. She relies on her son, who sips his drink thoughtfully, pondering something else. He muses, "A club is such an amazing place, everything sparkles and shines," as a stylish woman appears. And more than anything, he continues, as the scene focuses on an attractive couple in the club. The woman from the couple gives a dazzling, confident smile, captivating the viewer. Her son blushes, heart pounding, clearly captivated by the club's atmosphere. He muses aloud, "With so many people in the world, how come I never see this many beautiful women elsewhere?" Aunt Mi-young smirks knowingly at her flustered son, asking, "What? Why?" She clarifies, "Do those girls look like ordinary people to you? Most are celebrities or models here for Tim Johns." As silhouettes dance, Aunt Mi-young hints, it might look like they're just dancing for fun, but they're desperately waving their hands to get noticed by Tim Johns or Choli. Can you believe it? Jinho astutely observes, it's self-promotion disguised as coincidence, surprising his aunt with his quick understanding. Aunt Mi-young affirms, "If you have something to say, you've got to grab attention first." She then teases, "Of course. They're all barking up the wrong tree. Tim John's lover is none other than my son," causing him to cringe. Leaning against the bar, Aunt Mi-young finally asks Jinho directly, "So, are you really not going to work as a model?" Jinho clarifies, "More like I don't plan to sign with an agency," as his aunt questions his freelance approach. Tapping his fingers, Jinho confirms, "That's right," while Aunt Mi-young thoughtfully considers this. Aunt Mi-young excitedly suggests Seoul Fashion Week, or even Paris, as Jinho silently wishes she'd show Ji-young such enthusiasm. With a sad expression, Aunt Mi-young admits, "I'm a 0-point mom." So, Jinho advises changing her wallpaper to Ji-young. Aunt Mi-young urges the boys to have fun, promising to keep it secret from Jinhee. But Jinho scoffs, "I don't believe you." She then offers a dazzling bribe. "If I tell Jinhee, I'll buy you a foreign luxury car," causing Jinho to exclaim, "What?" Her son reminds Jinho that Aunt Mi-young is serious about money, as she waves them off. Jinho then jokingly threatens to sue for her VP position. Aunt Mi-young looks taken aback, asking her son if he found Jinho's threat funny. But he internally shivers at VP jokes. Her son navigates the vibrant, crowded club, looking a little overwhelmed by the scene. Suddenly, a forceful bump from behind sends her son stumbling forward in the club. A strong hand suddenly grips his arm, preventing his stumble. He turns, flustered, stammering an apology, but a voice cuts him off. No. He's instantly surrounded by 3 glamorous women, one cooing, "It's okay," as he stares in disbelief. A manicured hand rests on his arm as a woman asks, "You're really handsome. Are you a Choli exclusive model? Her son blushes furiously as one woman leans closer, whispering, "Wanna dance with me?" His eyes spin as she suggestively continues, "After dancing, we could eat, and after eating." Suddenly, he's at the men's restroom door, as a voice asks, "You're leaving?" Tim John stands there, questioning why he isn't enjoying himself. Her son retorts they're interested in Choli, not him. Calming himself, her son states he should leave before doing something regrettable, piquing Tim John's interest. Tim John's, visibly impressed, praises his awareness and restraint, calling him quite the man. But her son insists this isn't the right setting. Tim John's, intrigued, asks her son, "Then where are you going next?" As he sweats, contemplating. With a wide grin, Tim John's declares, "Time to enjoy the real Korean nightlife." The scene shifts to a dazzling nighttime cityscape, alive with glowing signs. Next, they're clinking shot glasses over a sizzling grill. It's time for drinks. Then, it's karaoke, with Tim John's belting out a tune while her son watches. They toast with huge beer mugs over a mountain of chicken and fries. Both her son and Tim John's are now passionately singing their hearts out at karaoke. The morning after, two choco bomb lattes appear, signaling a major hangover. Sitting on a park bench, a voice reflects, "Today was really fun." Tim John's praises the chicken and beer, offering to treat her son in his country, prompting the question, "Where are you from?" Tim John's casually reveals he's from England, to which her son stammers an awkward, "Oh, yes." Her son, gripping his latte, directly asks Tim John's, "If I give you that outfit, what would I get in return?" He elaborates, "Even though you said it was made for me, I don't think it's just like that." Internally admitting he can't hide his suspicions. Tim John's confesses his true desire, "Jin, I want you to walk in my fashion show. I want to show the world what a true muse is." Suddenly, Tim John shouts, "But that won't do," explaining he can't bear the thought of sharing his muse with other designers. Her son proposes a compromise, "I'll be your muse, but only as inspiration, no public runway appearances," to which Tim John's questions, "Is that it?" Tim John slumps, admitting, "I don't like that either," as he wants to boast about his exclusive muse to other designers. Her son looks on, slightly exasperated as Tim John's whines, "But I don't want to share you either," leading to a realization. He concludes Tim John's is like a child, wanting to show off the new toy but never letting anyone else play with it. Her son bluntly states, "To be honest, I don't think Mr. Tim John's can keep me hidden just because he tries." Her son tells a surprised Tim John's, "Take a look at this," holding up his phone. He reveals a traffic limit exceeded screen, explaining, "This is the home shopping site for the clothes I'm wearing right now." He learned from a CEO acquaintance that inquiries for Korea University Lee Jin-ho surged that evening. Tim John's realizes, "Starting this evening, huh? That's exactly when we began our official journey together." Her son explains that merely being with Tim John's caused this, and wearing his clothes would spread his fame uncontrollably. As a glowing butterfly flutters, he asks, "In that case, wouldn't it be better to just come out openly?" Tim John's looks touched as her son adds, "Besides, my conscience won't allow me to wear such amazing clothes for free." Tim John's agrees to reconsider, then says, "But before that," as he looks at his coffee, "There's something I need to tell you," Tim John's says, and her son asks, "What is it?" Tim John's announces, "I'm returning to France in 3 days," shocking her son, who exclaims, "That's soon." Tim John's explains his next visit will be far off, which is why he has a special favor to ask. He requests Jinho's promise when the clothes are ready, no matter how long. "Will you come wear them for me?" They seal the deal with a firm handshake as Jinho enthusiastically agrees, "Of course." Jinho reaffirms his commitment, "If you call, I'll come right away." Though a thought lingers, "That's what I said, but..." The very next day, a serious-looking Jinho is unexpectedly called out to. It's Tim John's, already in a car, grinning and eagerly saying, "On Wiva." Jinho, astounded, sees Tim John's in a car, realizing the designer likely worked all night after their talk. Their destination is a sleek, towering modern building under a bright, sunny sky. Inside, detailed fashion sketches reveal a complete, stylish outfit. Jinho tries on the newly created ensemble, looking impressed and uttering a surprised, "Wow." A man with a knowing smile is introduced, the CEO of Sile. "Excellent," declares Pietro Battari, the CEO, clearly impressed by Jinho. Jinho, unfazed, notes the vice president of Sile Korea is also a fan of the world-class designer. The VP wants Jin for Sile, but Tim fiercely claims, "No way, he's my muse." When the VP mentions revenue, Tim sharply questions if they'd share with X-Vuitton too. Pietro Battari then turns to Jin, sincerely thanking him for being Tim's muse. He explains Tim's wanderlust often led him to run off seeking inspiration. Despite Tim's past escapes, Pietro observes looks like he's finally settling down. Pietro sighs, admitting that while free spirits are difficult, Tim's successful designs bring enormous returns. Anyway, as a token of gratitude, Pietro offers, let me offer you a little bribe. Pietro offers, for the next 3 years, Sile will be your sponsor, leaving Jinho stunned. Jinho covers his mouth as Pietro details the perks, everything from clothes to socks, even unreleased new items and a hairstylist if needed. Pietro's condition is simple. All you have to do is always wear the finest items we select for you. Tim John smirks, remarking, seems you're desperate to hold on to your muse. But Pietro retorts they can't let talent slip away. Jinho suddenly declares, sorry, but I'll have to decline. Shocking a flustered Tim Johns who exclaims, Jaejin. Pietro, with crossed arms, calmly asks, why? Adding, you don't realize what kind of opportunity you're turning down. On a large screen, Pietro questions Jinho, or do you prefer some other brand? Jinho firmly states, neither, as his reflection appears in Pietro's glasses, who then asks. Then, Jinho admits, luxury brands are great, sponsored items are even better, since they're free. But he values his reset life more, concluding, if my life has to be restricted just to wear luxury clothes, I don't need them. Jinho declares, beautiful and stylish things deserve to be shown off, as Pietro agrees, even if it's not from Sile. Tim Johns dramatically collapses, shouting, Tim has finally found his true muse. While Pietro dryly comments, sometimes. Pietro apologizes for misjudging Jinho, who admits he might have reacted a bit sensitively too. Pietro, impressed by Jinho's politeness, says, makes me want you even more, and starts typing on his phone. He's instructed Sile Korea to let Jinho take any clothes he desires, clarifying, this is a gift, not a sponsorship. Pietro adds Jinho can share them with anyone, to which Jinho chuckles. You're going to regret saying that. Jinho muses, even the CEO cracks jokes. What a human touch. As ethereal flowers surround his pleased expression, the scene transitions to the dazzling, opulent interior of a high-end SIUL boutique. A store manager gestures grandly, inviting Jinho, take it all. Jinho shyly picks the outfits, prompting the manager's shock. Only 3 million won worth. As he realizes their steep price, Jinho slumps as his mom yells through the phone, ready to trade him for a luxury bag. Overwhelmed in the store, Jinho asks if it's okay, while his mom marvels at the offer. His mom confidently reassures him, if Pietro said take it all, then you really can, son. Jinho feels conflicted, admitting he hasn't done anything to deserve this generosity. His mom gives a sly, knowing smile, hinting at a deeper understanding. She explains, son, listen closely. You've made an enormous contribution to SIUL's next 3 years of revenue. His mom dismisses the cost of a few items, claiming his contribution is worth far more than even 100 billion. Jinho is utterly stunned, repeating 100 billion, as the massive sum sinks in. He hilariously calculates the amount in pork belly portions, as his mom mentally forbids him from eating it. His mom proudly declares Jinho a treasure to Sile, while he just wants her to calm down. His mom thoughtfully asks if there's anything she can do for Sile in return. Jinho questions if she truly feels no debt, but she firmly answers no. With a confident smile, Jinho declares, I'm certain now. His eyes gleam with resolve as he internally affirms, I'm sure I'll succeed. His mom stands with hands on her hips, observing her son with a new understanding. A slight smirk plays on her lips as she muses, when did you grow up so much? She then invites him to follow, hinting at suggestions, to which Jinho knowingly agrees. They enter an even more exclusive, opulent area of the SIUL boutique. A distinguished man in a suit glances back, seemingly guiding them through the lavish space. Jinho's mom, now draped in a plush pink coat, consults with a staff member before a mirror. Jinho's mom beams, radiating newfound confidence in her luxurious coat. But a bead of sweat rolls down Jinho's face as a painful memory surfaces. He recalls his mother, once brought to her knees by hardship. In their old, humble kitchen, she despaired, honey, why is life so hard? Her lament echoes as Jinho remembers their past struggles. She'd always worked hard, never living lazily since her graduation. Yet, she found herself struggling just to pay rent, desperate for a loan. Even a ripped garbage bag felt like a major setback, wondering if she'd ever laugh off small losses. Jinho watches his mother, his expression somber, weighed down by these memories. He looks down, a heavy realization dawning. It's because of me. He remembers his father's words, I'll sell a cow to pay your tuition. His father felt his younger siblings missed out because of him, the eldest. A younger, nervous father asks, even someone like me, will you marry me? His father lamented her rough life, wondering why she married him as she offered to take out the trash. His mother then asked him to watch baby Jinho for a bit. She firmly told her husband, "I don't regret marrying you, so don't make that face." Jinho's eyes reflect the weight of these past sacrifices. In the present, his mother beams, fitted in the luxurious pink coat. She laughs with pure, unadulterated joy, looking radiant. A flashback image shows her laughing similarly, but in simpler clothes, a stark contrast. Jinho's father nervously taps his foot, unable to stay still. Overwhelmed, his father turns away, tearfully whispering, "Thanks, son." He then slams his mug down, exclaiming, "Dad's the guilty one." A flashback shows him lamenting how his wife suffered because he couldn't even afford a bag for her. In the memory, his father worriedly asks Jinho if accepting such gifts is okay. But Jinho reassures him. Jinho explains to his mom he's also helping Sile with promotions, and she advises him not to live in debt. Back at their family restaurant, Jinho looks up, interrupted by approaching figures. Two excited women recognize him as Hankik-yu handsome guy, asking for a photo. They gush about his local oppa days, making Jinho cringe with embarrassment. Waving goodbye, the fans also compliment his father's good looks as they depart. Jinho's father, puzzled, repeats Hankik-yu handsome guy over a bowl of fried chicken. Jinho sheepishly admits it's an online nickname, adding he's somewhat popular with girls. His father beams, already planning to spoil his future daughter-in-law, while Jinho internally panics about marriage talk. 3 days later, Team Jones is shown departing from a busy airport terminal. A light blue suitcase stands alone as Pietro's voice says, "Thanks to you, I had a wonderful time." Pietro gives Jinho a friendly European-style double-cheek kiss goodbye. Pietro invites Jinho to France, mentioning their CEO's interest as his team heads to their gate. Waving cheerfully, Pietro promises to surprise Jinho with even better clothes next time. Jinho waves back with a gentle, appreciative smile. Suddenly, Jinho's eyes widen slightly as a ring sound effect appears, hinting at an incoming call or thought. Jinho smirks, phone in hand, a knowing look on his face. His screen shows a message from Aunt Mi-young with the schedule file, as he thinks, "We'll see who surprises whom, my old friend." Meanwhile, at Mi-young's house, she stands elegantly, a slight smile on her face as she holds her phone. She sets her phone down, reflecting, "Just as I became VP, my son steps up like this." Life really is unpredictable. A young woman in pajamas, likely Mi-young's daughter, looks up from her phone, puzzled, asking, "Teddy bear Appa?" She glances at her phone screen with a slightly bewildered expression. Her eyes widen in surprise as she stares intently at her phone. On the screen is an adorable baby photo of her in a traditional hanbok, holding a small red pouch. She looks around her room, a bit flustered, phone still in hand. Holding her phone up, she exclaims with a pout, "I look way prettier now." "So why do you use my first birthday photo?" A student hums cheerfully, guitar case slung over his shoulder. He shields his eyes, exclaiming wow at the bright, sunny sky. Standing on campus, he remarks, "Class is finally over. Such great weather today." We learn about Professor Jung Youngjin, once a popular guitarist in his prime. But that vibrant image shatters. The text declares he is now a monster. 2 weeks prior, Professor Jung stares at his monitor, shocked, only 5 students enrolled. His course reviews are a total disaster, with students complaining bitterly. Now mentally wrecked, he plays guitar on campus, mistaken for a homeless man, having missed 2 weeks of class. He stomps his foot, fearing, "If this course gets cancelled again, my contract's really over." Sighing, he accepts blame. "I'm the one who handed out C's and F's for lacking romance." Professor Jung recalls his band, knowing all fame fades. He sees new idols, musing how generations and popularity change. He reflects that while the past lingers, like old TV shows, new trends emerge. He feels out of place on campus, like selling old tea in a modern youth cafe. He walks down an empty hall, fearing, "If I get fired, how do I make a living?" Dragging his guitar case, he admits he lacks a music degree and confidence against younger talent. A female student cheerfully mentions, "Hey, this course is infamous for harsh grading." She then curiously asks her classmate, "So why did you pick it?" Jinho, looking flustered, admits it's kind of embarrassing. "My friend said I smell like an old man." He grips a doorknob, confessing, "I had a romantic dream of sitting on campus grass." Playing the guitar again, Jinho smiles, lost in his romantic vision, a dream of playing guitar on the campus lawn. He enters the lecture hall, asking his classmate, "Can you understand?" As many students are already seated. Jinho now sits with the 2 female students, who listen intently to his explanation. The girls exchange surprised glances, processing Jinho's unusual motivation for the class. At that moment, Professor Jung Youngjin enters his journey through music class, his face a mask of shock. The truth hits, Jinho's leaked schedule caused enrollment to skyrocket by nearly 1,000%. Professor Young flashes back to his past, a rock star commanding a massive concert crowd. Overwhelmed by the sight of his now packed classroom, tears begin to form in his eyes. A tear rolls down his cheek as he thinks, ugh, was that a dream? With 65 students confirmed, Professor Young stands at the door, whispering, even in a dream, I'm crying. Jinho sits in a car, strumming a guitar, a musical note sound effect appearing. The driver, glancing in the rearview mirror, remarks, that's a nice guitar, did you get a new one? Jinho explains his professor gifted it for saving his class, adding it's from his peak career. As the driver asks for the professor's name, Professor Youngjin, Jinho replies, and the driver recognizes the name. Noting his widespread, if not superstar fame, the driver jokes about selling the signed guitar for a fortune, calling it a jackpot, then appreciates Jinho's ability to take a joke. As they stop at a red light, Jinho quips, jokes are only as good as the person who takes them. The driver asks if Jinho is nervous about today's shoot, and Jinho casually replies he's done a few before in Italy and at school. Jinho, still strumming, confidently states no, he's not nervous. The driver, with a serious expression, warns, you should really be more nervous about this one. The reason becomes clear. This photo shoot is for Vogue Korea, featuring X Group. The driver emphasizes that X Group's elite pride extends to every member. He paints a picture of the prestigious X Group staff, all stuck in traffic, waiting for Jinho. The driver bluntly states the staff will assume Jinho's presence is pure sponsorship. Back at the studio, a staffer scoffs, an amateur on Seoul's cover. Their golden days are over. Another staffer, a photographer, notes the lead photographer only shoots family, questioning Jinho's legitimacy. A younger crew member smirks, cynically remarking, oh, come on, but it's Choli. He then spreads a rumor. Jinho is the new VP's friend's son, declaring Choli Korea doomed. The senior staff members look disgusted, one muttering I'm out and the other an amateur. The gossiping crew member clenches his teeth, accusing Jinho of riding on connections. He concludes Jinho has no skills, no experience, just shortcuts as a hand gestures dismissively. The driver warns Jinho that if this first step fails, Choli Korea's reputation will suffer alongside his. Jinho makes a dramatic entrance, silhouetted in a brightly lit studio doorway as staff look on. The previously gossiping crew members stare in utter shock at Jinho's arrival. Hello, Jinho greets them, his figure still backlit as a staffer hesitantly asks, you are? Jinho confidently introduces himself, eager for the shoot, leaving the staff wondering about him. Later, the same 3 staff members sit for an interview, asked about their experience with Jinho. They enthusiastically praise Jinho, declaring his skills the best and noting his undeniable charisma. The crew agrees he's uniquely captivating, wishing to work with him again, though his schedule is packed. Asked why they don't approach him directly, the lead photographer firmly states no can do. Because right now, Jinho is focused on something far more important, skillfully playing his guitar. Jinho strums his guitar, practicing for tomorrow's Mount Talent show as a staffer offers assistance. He's just glad for the practice space, hoping to unlock a new skill before the event. The rooftop star skill requires playing 30 gifted songs perfectly 10 times each. Lying on a bench, he realizes the skill is as demanding as becoming a top student nationwide. He calculates 30 songs, 10 plays each at 3 minutes per song, means at least 15 hours of practice. Thankfully, his professor was thorough, even asking for encores during their karaoke practice sessions. Jinho belts out a powerful mama in the karaoke flashback, now down to his last practice song. His fingers fly across the fretboard, pushing himself to the limit for this final song. Suddenly, pain shoots through his hand, his tendonitis flares up, making him unable to play. His strained hand trembles, a stark reminder that overuse wears down the human body. His hand, once a vessel of music, now betrays him with its tremor. The scene shifts, showing a determined young woman, Lee, guitar on her back, the text in the heart, appearing. But even her strong heart feels the strain, as she thinks, I want to quit, with pain sets in. A flashback to 3 years ago. An article focuses on rookie Lee's looks, not her music, prompting outrage. Her manager, frustrated by the shallow press, sighs, well, at least it's getting clicks. As Sia questions the singer-songwriter image, Sia tries to stay positive, eating instant noodles and declaring, hey, it's fine. She naively wonders if this struggle is normal for singer-songwriters, but the narrator interjects, not at all. Back then, Sia was full of confidence, believing her music would touch souls and earn her recognition. Reality hit hard. Her first 2 albums were complete commercial failures, leaving stacks unsold. Dejected, Sia listens as her manager suggests a drastic change, a dance track for her third album. Her manager burst with news. Seala, the response to the third album is insane, and the CEO wants a magazine interview. Seala's expression shifts, a hint of sadness clouding her face despite the good news. Okay, she replies, confessing she secretly hoped this album would also fail. She fears a song she didn't write, sung in skimpy outfits, will define her. Then excuses herself to the restroom. Water runs from a faucet, a quiet moment amidst her inner conflict. Seala stands alone in the restroom, her posture reflecting her distress. Her heeled boots stop suddenly as she hesitates before a doorway. She walks towards a brightly lit exit, a path to somewhere else. On the phone, her manager explains to the director that Seala is in the restroom, feeling a bit down. The manager elaborates that Seala's pride lies in her songwriting, so it's natural she'd feel hurt by this turn. The manager notes Seala's prolonged absence. Still, she's taking a while in there. A hand reaches towards the sky, perhaps seeking solace or a sign. Suddenly, a faint melody catches Seala's ear, her eyes widening. Drawn by the music, Seala turns towards an open doorway, a bright light beckoning. She walks towards the exit, the enchanting notes guiding her path. Compelled, Seala breaks into a run, following the glowing trail of music down a hallway. The source of the music, a hand gracefully strumming, bathed in a warm, inviting light. She discovers Jinho, lost in his guitar practice in an empty room. Jinho stops abruptly, surprised by her sudden, tearful appearance. Visibly moved, Seala blushes, pleading, keep playing. Jinho's fingers press firmly onto the guitar strings, continuing the melody. He grips the fretboard, pouring his focus into each note. As Jinho plays for Seala, the text reveals the pain she felt earlier. Miraculously, as he plays, her anguish faded away. Meanwhile, panic erupts elsewhere. What? Seal's gone, echoes down an empty corridor. The manager sprints, exclaiming, it's been 20 minutes, she still hasn't come back. Go find her right now, the director yells, as the manager races, fearing the worst. The manager recalls Seala with her guitar, his worry deepening. He remembers her desire to quit, his unease about the day proving true. A sudden realization sparks in the manager's eyes, a new urgency taking hold. Jinho glances back, the air still shimmering with the notes he played. Seala beams, her earlier distress completely gone, captivated by his music. His fingers, though recently pained, dance skillfully across the guitar strings once more. Now seated, Seala claps enthusiastically, shouting encore, "You're really good at singing." She eagerly asks if he's also there for an interview, wondering if he's from her agency. Jinho chuckles, modestly replying, I'm just a regular person, to her surprise. He explains he's just practicing for a talent show, admitting he's only played guitar for a week. Shocking Seala. Her eyes widen in disbelief. A week? With that level of skill? A deep blush spreads across Seala's face as she reflects on her own complaints. Compared to his raw talent, when Jinho asks who she is, she stammers, I am a rookie, a third-year rookie. So embarrassing. Just as Seala stammers, a voice shouts her name, Lee Seal. Her manager burst in, scolding, you from now on, take your phone even when you poop. He sighs in relief. The director and I were so worried, then his eyes widen in shock. Eek. The manager stares, recognizing the guitarist, Lee Jinho. With a glint in his eye, the manager asks, Mr. Lee Jinho, have you ever thought of becoming a celebrity? Jinho smiles politely, no, I haven't, instantly shutting down the offer with rejected. Defeated, the manager says, Mr. Lee Jinho, we will resume filming now as Seala thinks. I guess it's not happening. Seala, watching Jinho leave, wonders, who is that person that they are so desperate to sign? Her manager explains, the kid every entertainment agency in Korea is dying to have, and the same kid who refuses to join any of them. He continues, young, handsome, smart, the blue chip of this generation. Seala learns Jinho aced his way into Korea University, leaving her stunned. She blushes, realizing, I really was a rookie in every way compared to him. Her manager, noticing her change, asks, Seal, did something happen? You've been so down. But now, Seala's face radiates a newfound brightness and hope. Her eyes sparkle, reflecting a complete shift from her earlier despair. Remembering Jinho's music, she simply smiles, it's just something good happened. Seala declares to her shocked manager, after today, I want to re-record the third album. The scene shifts to Jinho's gold prize certificate from the music festival. Seala posts on social media, music really feeds you. Hashtag music festival, hashtag gold prize. Sharing her inspiration. Now in a school uniform, Seala smiles, looking at her phone, clearly re-energized. Seala declares with renewed vigor, just like trainee Lee Seal, I want to get greedy. Her manager observes her newfound determination with a thoughtful expression. A small, knowing smile plays on the manager's lips as he sees her change. "Singer Lee Seal, time for your interview," he announces, pleased her cheerful vibe has returned. Seal confidently agrees to the music video, even the previously disliked outfit, surprising her manager. She scoffs at her past pickiness as the scene shifts to business major Mount D Day. A hand applying lip balm. A close-up shows glossy lips after the lip balm application. On a bus, excited students, including Jinho, hold up lip balms, ready for their trip. "Let's go." One student remarks on someone's diligent use of the sponsored lip balm for publicity. His friend chuckles, planning to flaunt the lip balm to make the economics department jealous. On the bus, Jinho confidently states he's totally ready to blow them away at the talent show. Their vehicle pulls up to a modern building under a twilight sky, their Mount destination. A senior with a mic rudely announces, "Dinner time, you newbie trash," as another student groans. Students debate washing a raw chicken, confused by conflicting advice from family and online. A senior scolds them over burnt rice. "That's all over now, got it." One girl offers a horrifyingly purple curry, declaring water and rice are self-serve. Desperate students cry out, "Our team's already doomed, help us, Jinho." Jinho expertly starts a roaring fire in the barbecue pit for his team. A classmate thanks Jinho, then jokes about summoning his great-grandmother's spirit for cooking. The loud senior returns, triumphantly presenting instant ramen. No Korean can mess up instant noodles, right? But then, a massive fire erupts from the ramen pot, shocking everyone. The senior yells, "Jinho, don't touch it. How do you even make ramen catch fire?" Before they resort to ramen handouts. One girl even offers a bowl in exchange for a photo with Syle's model, eyeing Jinho. Later, the senior rallies the students in an auditorium. "Everyone's fed now, right?" And they cheer yes. He grins, "Now that you're full, what should we film next?" And the crowd roars, "Booze." The senior enthusiastically agrees, "Booze," ready to get the party started. He then unveils the talent show prizes, loads of alcohol and chicken for third place, and unlimited drinks and snacks for second. Students joke about a chicken farm raid as Team Muscle Law flexes, having devoured all the chicken breast. Next up, dance team Thrill It Joe arrives, looking party ready in flashy sunglasses. Finally, two band teams are announced, Told You So Joe and Jinho's team, first place Joe, sparking curiosity about another guitar performance. The senior hypes the crowd, "I can hear your fighting spirit, so hot, burning hot." He grips a chair, dramatically announcing now the grand prize for first place. The students gasp in unison, their faces alight with anticipation. First prize is revealed, unlimited snacks, drinks and 5 bottles of 17-year-old whiskey. With the crowd roaring, the senior declares, "And now, the talent show shall begin." A foot in a slipper stomps down, signaling the first act is taking the stage. Team Muscle Law starts strong, with a member effortlessly lifting a massive barbell. He reveals his secret, adding 1 kilogram to his bag for every exam stress moment. Asked about freshman perks, he grins. "I really like that the business administration textbooks are heavy." He then prepares to rip a 500-page textbook with his bare hands to prove his point. Suddenly, Professor Kim Jae-kwon, the textbook's author, interjects, "Hey, that's my book." A judge's fist slams a buzzer, instantly failing Team Muscle Law's textbook-ripping feat. The MC laughs it off, quickly moving on. "All right, next." As the strong man shuffles away, Thrill Seeker's team takes the stage, ready for their energetic dance performance. Spectators buzz, are they about to do a couple dance? But the duo clarifies, "We're actually siblings." The crowd erupts in awkward laughter, with one student apologizing for the assumption. A girl remarks that male-female dances often cause trouble, then asks Jinho if his group faced similar issues. He nervously agrees, despite his inexperience. She then probes, "Your team's performance is just you, Jinho. You were popular back then too, weren't you?" Another student scoffs, "Can you really lead well with such a motley crew? For vocalist and one instrument is basically in a cappella group." He continues his critique, "Besides, it hasn't even been half a month since you picked up the guitar." Jinho smirks, unfazed by the skepticism surrounding his band. A confident woman tells him, "I've grasped the knack, so brace yourself," as he thinks. "Oh, confident," he recalls, "no matter what they say, I received advice from an expert." A quick title card flashes, marking a brief interlude. The scene shifts to 2 weeks ago, Jinho seeking help preparing for the talent show. He explains to someone off-screen his studious, trend-ignorant team members can't help. Jinho pleads for assistance, feeling it's the least he can do after missing the shuttle. His plea is directed at a charismatic, purple-haired man hailed as a born-to-be insider. The insider agrees to help, but only if Jinho foots the karaoke bill. His expert mentor then belts out a passionate trot song on the karaoke screen. The purple-haired mentor, mid-karaoke, asks Jinho, "Doesn't this song have a great vibe?" Lee Jinho. He then sternly advises Jinho, "Please don't even glance at karaoke numbers with less than 4 digits." With a hand on Jinho's shoulder, the mentor insists, "There's a reason why the songs stand the test of time. Listen to me." He explains, "A talent show. You see, isn't it I like this show?" Leaving a confused Jinho wondering what to show. The mentor teases, "That's because you're an outcast. Hyung Nim will teach you, so listen up." Back in the present, the MC announces, "Next up is the band team Naimao Macho My Words Are Right team." As the band performs a heartfelt ballad, the mentor's voiceover explains a life song is one that comforted you in hard times. The audience is visibly moved, some on the verge of tears, by the deeply emotional performance. The MC, seeing the somber atmosphere, panics, "We're screwed. How do we lift this mood?" An older judge, tears in his eyes, whispers, "That's a song my father used to like." The ballad performance makes an audience member miss their mom, likening it to comfort food at a fancy party. The MC worries, thinking Jinho's team might also perform a somber song, digging their own grave. Back in the flashback, Jinho's mentor warns against downer songs, advising an exciting, recent hit instead. Jinho admits his lack of knowledge of recent songs, so the mentor suggests picking a super popular chart topper. The mentor explains the holy trinity for stage success: visuals, popularity, and skill, telling Jinho to focus on skill. He then considers Jinho's team for average singers, some choreography, but only 2 weeks to practice. The mentor's question hangs in the air as the MC announces the final act, Jinho's #1 team. Fans cheer for Jinho, but others groan, "An acoustic guitar again. Do we have to cry again?" A skeptical student from before watches Jinho, clearly wondering about his strategy. He then silently questions where Jinho's other team members are. As Jinho sits alone on stage with his guitar, Jinho sits alone under the spotlight, guitar in hand, as the crowd watches. His mentor's voice echoes, "Skill is the power to make people focus." The mentor continues, "Popularity is as a hand hovers over a source of music. The power to make everyone enjoy it, illustrated by a wildly cheering audience. And visuals," the mentor concludes, "are the power to make nothing else enter one's sight." Jinho recalls a team member's confession, "We joined to get closer to you. We don't have special talents." He then remembers his strategic thought. "Then how about this?" Showing an invisible gorilla experiment video. Back on stage, the spotlight intensifies, musical notes floating in the air. Jinho looks up with a knowing, confident smile. As he strums his guitar, he thinks of his plan, inattentional blindness. The audience is completely mesmerized, phones out, recording Jinho's solo act. Every screen in the crowd reflects Jinho, alone under the spotlight with his guitar. He thinks if attention isn't paid, it's like they're not even there, as shadowy figures stand unnoticed behind him. Then, as the music swells, a dark cap and vest are dramatically thrown off. Beneath the dark clothes, brilliant white outfits emerge, the hidden figures now poised for action. People suddenly came out of nowhere, the crowd exclaims, witnessing the full band appear as if by magic. A quick flashback reveals 2 weeks of chaotic brainstorming, including a teammate's questionable 10-pack idea. Back in the present, Jinho sings with heartfelt intensity, his guitar skills on full display. He recalls his diverse team to dancers, a bassist, and to very muscular members, all ready to contribute. Jinho flashes a knowing, almost smug, smile, his plan perfectly unfolding. A hand dramatically points upwards, shouting "Hey," to grab everyone's attention. Jinho, beaming, invites the crowd, "If you're feeling confident, come on up, all of you." Ready to share his festival joy. The scene briefly cuts to a plain wall, hinting at a shift in perspective. Someone watches a viral video of Hankook University's performance, remarking, "Hankook University students' form is crazy these days." The video showcases impressive b-boying and backflips in a tight space, proving their surprising athleticism. Onlookers comment on the band's seamless, unplanned-looking entrance, recognizing their raw talent. Despite the team's reveal, the commentary highlights that Jinho himself still stands out the most. A bead of sweat rolls down Jinho's cheek as he maintains a cool, knowing smirk. Impressed industry figures discuss recruiting Jinho, one suggesting an 8 to 2 inches profit split. A senior executive counters, "Now 9 to 1. Of course, we are the one," valuing Jinho immensely. The scene shifts to a bright university campus, bustling with students. Someone frantically texts, "Are we taking the Epicon company?" As their phone buzzes, a student despairs while another group took it again, while others coo over a small dog. She then scolds them for playing with a cat, but its owner defends the senior feline. Frustration mounts as she asks, "Can we just pick a company already?" Only to find their choices taken. A hand reaches up dramatically with a yo against the sky. Jinho makes a grand entrance, hailed as the legend has arrived. He explains he took a break from a shoot, joining his group for their project. As they all pet the now hissing cat, Jinho asks about their project, analyzing a company's product. A menacing professor warns no copying topics or using TreeWiki, or it's an F. Because you're all adults now. The cat fiercely bites a hand as a student laments. But all the major companies have already been taken. Jinho, ever the strategist, coolly suggests, "What about the mobile games market?" His teammates look bewildered by mobile games. As Jinho prods, "Yeah, doesn't anything come to mind?" They recoil, haunted by a professor's anti-gaming lecture. But Jinho clarifies he means popular hits like Monster Go. One student researches, surprisingly, there's a lot of material on this. Discovering the lucrative mobile game industry. As roles are discussed, Jinho is nominated for presenter, internally protesting, says who? "I want an easy role too." A female teammate firmly tells Jinho he has no choice, assigning him the harder role due to perceived low participation. Suddenly, an urgent shout of Jinho interrupts their project discussion, startling him. Two men from Bet Entertainment appear, having tracked him down, but Jinho instantly flees, shouting no thanks. Watching him escape, a teammate dryly suggests, "Let's just put him as the team leader while we're at it," and another agrees. Aunt Mi Young burst into laughter from the other end of the call. Jinho complains seriously, "They won't leave me alone, I can't even eat lunch." She retorts, "That just shows how desperate they are," while spinning in her office chair. His aunt reminds him, every time his photo shoot drops, he trends in the top 10. She continues, citing Choli Korea's sales jump, men's plus 10%, women's plus 4% thanks to him. Moreover, his empty SNS account has already hit 500k followers. Jinho, blushing slightly, thanks ho, maybe I am kind of amazing. Aunt Mi Young notes, "People expected you to join Choli as Tim John's muse, as a fox eyes some grapes. But instead you chose to go independent," she adds, as the fox deems the grapes edible. Jinho sighs, "I'm gonna end up a hedgehog with all this poking." But his aunt calls it the life of a semi-celeb. Jinho muses, "Maybe if Choli managed me, they'd stop coming." Suddenly, the call cuts off with a sharp toot sound. His phone immediately buzzes. It's a video call from Aunt Mi Young. Aunt Mi Young appears, sternly suggesting a deeper talk, with the CEO visible on her laptop. She bluntly states the Choli management proposal failed. Reason, no management experience. A hand gestures as the CEO on screen asks, "Can't you just build a team now?" The CEO clarifies, "Ambassadors are already famous. We're talking about making a star under our brand name." Jinho realizes official Choli management means becoming their symbol, far beyond simple modeling. The CEO likens it to the Venus statue. Beauty is attributed to Venus, not its original model. He concludes a model's role is to elevate the brand. Who wears Venus is secondary if they fit. The CEO emphasizes, "But a star you raise becomes the embodiment of your brand." As Jinho's silhouette stands before Choli, he continues, detailing how everything from what they eat to what they wear reflects on the company. Even a minor slip-up in their past or future becomes Seoul's weakness. With many eyes scrutinizing the star, Jinho listens intently as the CEO explains direct management carries too many risks, hence entertainment agencies. The CEO, leaning back in his chair, reassures it's just worst-case scenario talk due to his investor responsibilities. He cites a past incident where a criminal wearing a brand caused immense damage to its image. Jinho, on the phone, replies, "I understand completely." As the CEO clarifies he doesn't doubt Jin's character. Aunt Mi Young chuckles softly, though she internally insists her previous suggestion wasn't a joke. Jinho sighs as his aunt again suggests dropping out to join Choli officially and rise through the ranks. The CEO smirks as Jinho firmly states, "I'm good, Annie. I'm still a fresh 20-year-old. The CEO asks Jinho's plan, and he declares, "I plan to stay freelance for now." The CEO listens intently, hand on his chin, considering Jinho's decision. From across the cafe, the CEO begins, "Jin, just saying, out of concern." Jinho walks, checking a group message calling him group project effector and sending a meeting summary. His hibiscus tea arrives as he sees a message on his phone, "For your information, you're the leader." He contemplates the steaming hibiscus tea, wondering if it's made from dried petals. A beautiful hibiscus flower illustrates the CEO's words, "Jin, popularity is like a single flower. The flower wilts as the CEO warns, once it withers, it doesn't come back easily." Jinho sips his tea thoughtfully, then asks, "Then what?" He firmly places the cup down, a decisive sound echoing his resolve. Jinho declares he'll live out his life, adding, "It just tastes good," referring to the tea. 3 days later, a cat peacefully grooms itself under a sunny sky. His teammates are amazed by the professional-looking presentation on social media marketing. Jinho confidently states he's memorized all the material, much to his team's smug but reliable assessment. As they head to eat, a teammate asks if he's seen any agency scouts lately, and Jinho replies, "Yeah." Jinho thoughtfully notes that the scouts have indeed stopped, though DMIs are still coming. The truth is revealed on the university notice board, a request to increase security. A notice details solutions to outsiders disturbing classes while seeking Lee Jinho. An enraged anti-fan furiously types a complaint, frustrated by Jinho's constant presence. A happy Jinho exclaims, "Finally, I can eat in peace. Let's celebrate with ribs." Just as Jinho celebrates, a voice calls out, "Mr. Lee Jinho, have a moment," making him visibly sad. His teammates dash off, teasing, "Aw, come on, team leader," skipping dinner too. Leaving Jinho shouting, "No, take me with you." His dream of ribs, complete with a tiny crown, drifts away as he laments, "I want ribs too." The unseen person apologizes, "I'm sorry, but we're in a hurry. Just a moment, please." As Jinho tries to walk away, Jinho whirls around, exasperated, demanding, "Who are you people?" A smiling couple approaches, the man waving cheerfully as Jinho despairs, "Why won't you let me eat in peace?" Jinho stops, recognizing the woman, "Isn't this person?" as she greets him with a hello. She introduces herself, "I'm a 3-year rookie from Rome Entertainment, Licia Law." And Jinho recalls, "That singer from the waiting room." Licia Law winks playfully, asking, "We've met before, haven't we?" With 3 cups of coffee now on a tray, the question hangs in the air, "Are you here about a contract?" The man sips his coffee, revealing, "No, we gave up when big agencies got involved." Jinho, surprised, leans in and asks, "Then?" Her companion pulls out a phone, asking, "Before that, have you heard Sila's 3rd album?" Sila looks slightly bashful as he praises her dance music debut. Jinho stares blankly as the man queries, "Have you seen the music video too?" With a hesitant smile, Jinho asks, "Can I be honest?" Sila and her manager deflate as Jinho admits, "Honestly, I couldn't get into it." The manager leans in, asking for reasons, while Jinho ponders, "Well." Jinho critiques the schoolgirl vibe clash. The singer didn't look like a girl, shocking Sila. He continues, "And the revealing outfit didn't match the video's tone at all." The manager, adjusting his glasses, asks, "Could it be? Was it the male actor's appearance that bothered you?" Jinho, with a slight smile, shakes his head, "No, not at all." He explains, "It's not that he was unattractive, but for a one-sided love story." Jinho continues, "Both leads were to evenly match like a good-looking couple." This broke immersion, Jinho notes, so much that people called it a song with a music video barrier. The manager shows online comments, one stating, "The music video is the biggest barrier to enjoying the song." More comments appear, criticizing the MV and questioning if Sila was truly crushing on the guy. The manager, holding up his phone displaying the MV, says, "If you already know, this should be easier to explain." He leans forward, gripping the chair, "I'll get straight to the point, Lee Jinho." The manager earnestly requests, "Please appear in the music video for the follow-up song." Jinho sits dumbfounded by the manager's sudden music video proposal. The scene shifts to Dongdaemun Mall, as Jinho learns Sila is Rome Entertainment's sole artist. Her manager reveals their dire situation. If this 3rd album fails, bankruptcy is inevitable. Sila anxiously asks if he'll abandon them, but Jinho quickly reassures her. He smiles, admitting he's never forgotten Sila's incredibly beautiful voice. Sila's heart flutters, her hand instinctively going to her chest at his sincere praise. Jinho cheekily snaps a photo, catching Sila's flustered reaction as she wonders about her racing heart. Suddenly, Jinho gets a call from Pink Pig, who's seen an article about his Dongdaemun date. He quickly clarifies it was work, begging her to keep it secret from Aunt Mi-young. Just 5 minutes later, his phone explodes with an incoming call from Mi-young Aunt. As Jinho mutters, "You rascal." Aunt Mi-young's voice booms over the phone, "My son." As she admires herself, she accuses him of betrayal, but Jinho clarifies, "I'm just appearing in the music video." Aunt Mi-young, already on her way, sharply asks, "Then why did you say yes?" Jinho holds up Sila's profile, simply stating, "Because I like the song." Aunt Mi-young thoughtfully examines the profile, her assistant watching. The assistant, addressed as vice president, observes keenly. Aunt Mi-young, sensing an opportunity, slyly asks Jinho, "Do you need some sponsorship?" The vice president plays a song on his phone, urging, "Here, give this song a listen." Aunt Mi-young listens, a smile spreading as she admits, "It's really good." The vice president praises the song further, That high note at the end is super impressive. Aunt Mi-young, still listening, casually asks, so, who's the singer again? The vice president, with the nameplate Vice President Lee Mi-young visible, states, I have no issue with the song itself. But, he continues firmly still, I'm absolutely against it. There's no way this is worth Seoul's sponsorship. Aunt Mi-young swivels in her chair asking, what exactly are you basing this decision on? She strikes a pose, declaring, my son's eye for talent and my own instinct. As they walk down a hall, she hums, well, since it's already in motion, let's go get the approval. While the VP sighs, you're going to get scolded by the CEO. The day of the music video shoot arrives. On set, Jin-ho and Sia-la stand in a room filled with antique furniture and books. Multiple professional cameras gleam, lenses focused and ready to film. Sia-la's manager nervously asks the vice president, is Choli really sponsoring all of this? There won't be any penalty fees if the release flops, right? The VP calmly replies, no. There's nothing like that. The vice president then casually suggests, by the way, we've got a bit of the budget left. Should we blow up a car or something? As Sia-la's manager stammers, a no. The theme is unrequited love, so that might be a bit much. A voice booms across the set. Let's start the rehearsal. The director praises Jin-ho's nuanced performance, exclaiming, stoic, but with warmth in your eyes. Great. Turning to Sia-la, the director shouts, no, Lee Sia-la, relax your jaw. For a close-up shot of Jin-ho, the director instructs, we're creating the nation's ideal first love here. While Jin-ho nails the look, Sia-la is told her cute expression isn't right for the scene. The director's frustration with Sia-la grows with each take. Not quite. Sia-la, seriously. Overwhelmed by the criticism, Sia-la slumps into a chair, burying her face in her hands. Dejected, Sia-la mutters to a smiling Jin-ho, I'm trash. Jin-ho reassures her, the director's just a bit overzealous. As her manager sees this as a turning point, Jin-ho tries to lift her spirits. Still, they've never criticized your dance scenes, right? But Sia-la remains doubtful. Jin-ho leans in, asking Sia-la, want me to give you a little acting tip? He grins, suggesting, just imagine I'm Samgyeopsal as a glistening pork belly appears. Sia-la stares blankly, prompting Jin-ho to think, oops, maybe that one was too much. She clutches her head, exclaiming, you GHGRRK, hold it in. Sia-la, if you gain weight again. As Jin-ho realizes she's dieting. Impressed, Jin-ho thinks, wow, she's really good at getting into character. Then asks, okay? Then how about this? He proposes, imagine I'm a guitar signed by Eric CL *** Ton, as a gleaming guitar materializes. Sia-la gasps, eyes wide and blushing, yes, as Jin-ho adds, worth 20 million won. Feel those butterflies? During filming, Sia-la asks, what did you say I was? Jin-ho replies, a 20 million won guitar. While the director wants it for the BTS reel. The camera captures a serene shot of Sia-la at a piano, bathed in soft window light. The director, peering through his camera, utters a confused huh, as Jin-ho looks on. Equally perplexed, the director exclaims, the vibe totally changed, impressed by Sia-la's new demeanor. He turns to Jin-ho, curious, what kind of tip did you give her to get that reaction? Jin-ho sweats slightly, caught off guard by the director's question. Sia-la, with a serene expression, ruefully thinks, I lost to a guitar. In Sia-la's eye, a reflection shows Jin-ho passionately playing the guitar. She vividly imagines Jin-ho, bathed in light, smiling as he strums the precious instrument. Back at the piano, Sia-la thinks with a sigh, I'm doomed. The director reveals the storyboard, announcing, finally, we're filming the highlight scene. He muses over the storyboard, so the scene was just the female lead's imagination. The vice president comments on the Cinderella motif's sadness, while his colleague notes their job is to package it beautifully. A colleague, deputy manager Joe, eyes the storyboard, questioning the scene where petals flutter around the loving couple. He scoffs, honestly. Does Team Jones's muse falling for someone of Sia-la's caliber even make sense? Her level just isn't there. No matter the synopsis, Joe exclaims, as the vice president listens intently. The vice president glares, retorting and spouting nonsense during work is at Seal's level. Deputy manager Joe flinches, hastily apologizing, I'm sorry. As the stern vice president watches, a flashback begins, focusing on the vice president's resolute expression from a previous discussion. He had firmly told Aunt Mi-young, executive vice president, no matter how I think about it, I'm against this. Showing Sia-la's profile, he declared, she's absolutely not at a level to receive our Seal's sponsorship. As Aunt Mi-young challenged his basis, Aunt Mi-young, with a sly, confident smile, began her justification, well, obviously, my son's eye, and she trails off as the scene shifts to Sia-la. radiant in a wedding gown on set. Aunt Mi Young's voice echoes her earlier words, "My eye." As she confidently assesses the situation, the vice president stands speechless, sighing as he takes in Scylla's stunning appearance. He quickly pulls out his phone, tapping out a message. On his screen, a text to Aunt Mi Young. Acknowledged. My eyes were wrong. The highlight scene unfolds. Jinho and Scylla in wedding attire hold hands against a romantic sunset. Jinho looks at Scylla, a gentle blush gracing his cheeks. Scylla returns his gaze, her own face flushed with emotion. She then embraces him from behind, a serene smile on her face as petals drift around them. The director, visibly moved, whispers perfect as he watches the monitor. Jinho internally panics. Don't act up, heart. She's hugging a 20 million won guitar, not me. Blushing furiously, Scylla wonders if an NG could grant her another hug. As the director yells cut, Scylla eagerly asks for another take, much to Jinho's dismay. 1 week later, the making of video hilariously highlights Scylla's obsession. Checking the stats, they see the music video hit 900,000 views, with the making film at 200,000. Jinho smiles, pleased with the initial success as he views the making film on his phone. Scylla, back in her school uniform, diligently monitors the view count on her own device. Her eyes widen in shock as the music video views suddenly surge past 1 million. Astonished, Scylla asks Jinho his secret. He reveals he uploaded behind-the-scenes selfies. Jinho explains his strategy, releasing solo pictures gradually to fuel interest. Avoiding couple shots. Scylla realizes Jinho is a cunning fox appa, who then assigns her homework corrections. Scylla exclaims wow, as stacks of boxes hint at her newfound success. Aunt Mi Young, relaxing, credits Jinho and Scylla for her dream of buying a house. However, harsh online comments attack Scylla, questioning her relationship with Jinho. Scylla's determined gaze reflects her inner turmoil from the negativity. She recalls Deputy Manager Joe's cutting words. Does Team Jones's muse falling for Scylla's caliber make sense? The phrase her level isn't there echoes, fueling Scylla's insecurity. Jolted by the memory, Scylla sits up, calling out to the CEO, Aunt Mi Young. Determined, Scylla declares she'll take any job to reach Jinho's level. Elsewhere, a fist slams a table in frustration over news about the Guanak Dadong Festival. A young man despairs we can't sell alcohol at the outdoor pub, revealing the festival's crisis. A student organizer laments the student council ban alcohol sales due to past loophole abuse. Frustrated, he exclaims they're on their own, then spots Youngjae Hyung entering. He teases the disguised Youngjae, who explains his newfound fame from the music video makes him recognizable. Youngjae, crestfallen, asks about the alcohol ban as the organizer explains strict liquor laws. Youngjae, peering over his sunglasses, thinks he'd prefer plain fruit juice to weak, near-zero alcohol drinks. The organizer proposes a self-mixing bar, clarifying customers can't bring alcohol in. Not that it can't be sold nearby. He suggests partnering with local supermarkets to sell alcohol, using guaranteed sales as leverage. The plan includes offering snack discounts for those who purchase alcohol from these partner stores. Another student scoffs, questioning if people would bother mixing juice with alcohol blandly. But the organizer is confident. He passionately argues that simple additions like lime and sugar can transform soju into a mojito, boasting of his cocktail knowledge. Youngjae curiously asks about the organizer's cocktail interest, who shyly admits he learned for his girlfriend. As Youngjae offers comfort for a useless effort, the organizer passionately declares, it was a success. He concedes, however, that the profit margin is a loss compared to direct alcohol sales, with only a few coins shown. Undeterred, the organizer announces their plan, sell non-alcoholic cocktails and make their food stand truly shine. He imagines serving an upscale menu, far from typical festival fare, prompting Youngjae to ask, then who's going to cook? With a flourish, the organizer volunteers himself, pictured comically with a flaming pan as others flee, shocking Youngjae. Youngjae scoffs, you can't even cook ramen. But the organizer, determined, reveals he's practiced to redeem himself from a past cooking mishap. A story begins, introducing a master chef and his two young disciples standing before him. One disciple sought wealth and fame, while the other simply yearned to cook with passion. The narrative continues. One day, the master called his two disciples and said, as his hand gestures towards them, the successor to my restaurant will be decided in the next competition. The master declared to his two apprentices. A tense, focused eye reflects the high stakes of the impending culinary battle. On competition day, hands reached for a wok, its handle glowing ominously red. Amidst festive banners, the jealous mischief of the fame-seeking disciple began to unfold. His sabotage met the passionate disciple's energetic wok skills, leading to a disastrous fusion. The The disciple who loved cooking stood stunned, a kitchen tool clattering from his grasp. A splash of hot oil, a searing pain, and the young man who loved cooking became blind. Kicked out and heartbroken, he wandered, his silhouette a lonely figure against the restaurant. Yet, even with hazy vision, his first thought upon waking was always of cooking. Undeterred by his blindness, the young man resolved to start over, tying on his apron anew. In his mind's eye, ingredients glowed, his senses sharpening beyond sight. He learned to feel the rhythm of the knife, the texture of the board. Young Jay, unimpressed by the tale, deadpans. So what? The organizer leaps up, declaring, "Yeah, now I'm going to try to become that young man." He stands blindfolded, knife poised, ready to emulate the legendary blind chef. The clock ticks, marking 7 o'clock as the strange culinary experiment begins. Young Jay frantically calls emergency services, yelling, "My friend is crazy, park Jejin." Jejin coolly tells Young Jay, "Trust me and just quietly play the game." Young Jay, bewildered, mutters, "Should I call your parents even now?" Undeterred, the blindfolded Jejin begins chopping ingredients with surprising focus. Jejin's blindfolded eye shows intense concentration for his bizarre challenge. With a nervous TSK, his knife slips while attempting to cut a carrot. Blindfolded Jejin flails slightly, trying to get his bearings over the ingredients. He internally panics, "If I lose even one part, my skills will be useless." Jejin fumbles around, desperately searching, "Knife. Where did I put the knife?" His hand miraculously finds the knife handle, prompting a relieved "oh." Jejin grins, wondering if the knife magically coming to his hand is a new skill. As Young Jay watches skeptically, Young Jay explodes, "Park Jejin should have seen this. I did see it, you crazy bastard." Suddenly, a skill window pops up. Master of Fire unlock conditions. Phase 1, trim 100 pieces of various vegetables. Phase 2 is slicing. Phase 3 is cooking. And Jejin confidently thinks, "I can feel it." Blindfolded Jejin focuses, feeling the knife's rhythm as he chops an onion. He inhales deeply, the pure aroma of ingredients awakening his senses. Jejin marvels as garlic skins now peel off with incredible ease. The Master of Fire skill evolves in real time, demanding mastery through practice. Jejin finally removes his blindfold, wiping sweat, the first phase seemingly complete. A counter gleams, showcasing an array of perfectly trimmed and sliced vegetables. Young Jay, eyes red and weary, asks if the ordeal is over. But Jejin says, "Not yet." Jejin suggests they eat first, blaming Young Jay's teary eyes on spicy onions. Promising food in an hour. Soon, a magnificent spread of expertly prepared Chinese dishes graces the table. Young Jay stares, utterly captivated and drooling at the sight of the incredible meal. Young Jay, still in disbelief, asks if Jejin truly cooked everything. To which Jejin casually replies, "You saw me, now just try it." With a hesitant expression, Young Jay takes his first bite, the food on the spoon almost glowing. Jejin confidently asks for the verdict as Young Jay trembles, utterly speechless. Young Jay erupts, "The seasoning is perfect. This is a complete kick. Lee Jinho, it's survival." He then jokingly asks if Jejin had a secret helper like Remy from Ratatouille. As Jejin clarifies the movie reference, Young Jay dramatically declares his taste buds are now ruined for anything else, while Jejin urges him to eat before it gets cold. The scene abruptly shifts to a bright sky with a tennis ball arcing downwards. Suddenly, the tennis ball smacks a young player squarely in the face, a look of pure shock on his features. In the stands, a group of girls erupts into excited screams and cheers. On the court, a smiling Jejin, now in tennis attire, acknowledges the 40 love score as fans call out "Jinho ya." Jejin feels the pressure, a voice reminding him, "The sales of our department depend on you." A girl in the excited crowd gasps, calling out, "Ladies," as Jejin addresses them. On the court, Jejin rallies his fans. "If I win, we're having dinner at the business administration department, right?" A rival scoffs at Jejin's cheesy line, while his friend smirks, jealous. Economics department president. Night falls on the university festival, with the business administration department planning to sweep up money shamelessly. At a quiet food stall, someone notes, "There's no problem with the taste, but..." A stern woman from the nutrition science department wonders, "Why is the number of customers like this?" Star chef Park Kocht, a special guest, angrily demands to know the reason for their poor sales. A masked chef nervously explains to Park Kocht, "It's Lee Jinho." As Park Kocht asks who's Lee Jinho, a menu reveals he's a handsome freshman whose stall is drawing everyone away. Park Kocht scoffs, "You think that ridiculous excuse will work? Want to see?" Holding up a phone. In a cosmic vision, Park Kocht and the chef sit at a table amidst a swirling galaxy, tasting the food. Convinced, Park Kocht declares, "We can't win. Pack it up," as her chefs plead for help. She angrily retorts, "Let go." How could I eat with a full stomach just by looking at the asterisk face? Park Kocht and her team turn a corner, their expressions shifting with surprise. Onlookers recognize the celebrity chef. It's Chef Park Kocht, as she coolly says, done. Her chefs beg, please tell Jinho I love him, and Park Kocht sighs. I can't turn down their request. Park Kocht, with a determined glint in her eye, silently contemplates her plan. Her hand places a drink on a counter as she asks, what would you like to order? Park Kocht orders specific dishes and critiques the mojito, stunning the waiter who asks, how did you know? Park Kocht adjusts her glasses, noting the smell to a chef. The nose is just as important as the tongue. She picks up a piece of food with her chopsticks, the table laden with dishes. Park Kocht takes a bite, her expression unreadable as she savors it. She sits alone at an outdoor table, deep in thought, surrounded by the festival atmosphere. Her chopsticks hover, then decisively pick up another piece. The waiter asks if the food is to her liking, while her companions exclaim, it's totally delicious. Park Kocht sharply calls out hey, in the waiter's attention. The waiter turns, a bead of sweat forming, looking startled by her tone. With a determined glint, Park Kocht declares, the guy who made this, I'll call him over. A gloved hand expertly swirls sauce into a flaming hot wok. Mushrooms and peppers fly as the chef expertly ladles sauce into the fiery wok. Park Kocht internally sneers, let's see that thick-skinned face. Elsewhere, a girl in a van asks her manager, can't you go watch the festival? The performance is still a long way off. The manager, annoyed, retorts, you just want to see Lee Jinho, right? It's so obvious. The girl blushes, pulling at her mask, as the manager worries. What will you do if a scandal breaks out?